Yeah. Check it out one time for the head. Check it out. It's the cool about the son he named Renee. It's the cool about the son he named Renee.
This is a journey into sound. This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new value. So it's ready. I throw this switch. Pop up the volume, pop up the volume. We interrupt this broadcast for you with special news bulletin from our on-the-spot passport.
Oh my God. And then just turns.
Good evening, America. This is your president. Please listen carefully to the announcement I'm about to make. After careful consideration and research, Vice President Duke, Congress, and myself have concluded that black people have not advanced technologically. Their educational testing scores are on a rapid decline. The vast majority of them are on welfare and producing babies at a faster rate than they can support them, and we will not carry them anymore. We are left with no other choice but to put slavery back into effect. All blacks will report to the designated camps in their area to receive further orders. The only blacks excused will be those serving in the United States military and the police. Any blacks who do not cooperate will be terminated immediately. I repeat, slavery is black man, we all be an ancient species. Thugs living in structures that only hinders our existence. From the slums of Nigeria to all over the world. They can change the name, but can't remove the pain from the game. Let's fight for something more. Let's fight for something pure. Hot in these stars of life. Music just burns the pain. They couldn't see my dreams. They told me learn to trade. Hustle, I learned to game. Pistols, I learned to raise. Ahead of my time, getting brain at an early age. Niggas die young. I might revive pop. Silent open doors like I left on the child lock. I'm Larry Davis. Aspirations of Patty Station. When niggas have equipment and mothers at graduation. Spotted down on some Cruella shit. We some real G's. Seven letter shit. Crooked cops pull me over cause my melanin. Funny punchlines of five dancing with the devil bitch. I get heaven sent. God, you don't see sunshine and nigga why rock curtains. I'm better at being bad, baby. Watch rock perfect. I'm nice. It's 250 like it's Granny Week. I'm the draw for the mainstream industry. These little niggas trying to earn a spot. Only fucking dead bodies on my mental piece. Tell me how I feel. Tell me how I feel. I dress off the mannequin, but still I keep it real. Tell me how I feel. She love my sex appeal. Take a little picture, try. This is where the cup is real. Ain't nothing to talk about. Nigga ran the coffins out. Shelling people fake friends. Money kept us falling out. My nigga brought the chopper. Let it start a charge. Walk you now. With a yellow bone, she always open like Waffle House. Every song is kill a nigga, rob a nigga, beat him. Tip a bit, slap a hoe, fuck a slut, eat him. Buy a brick, gold chain, Gucci clothes and sneakers. The kids are listening and we subconsciously receive them in the junk. Tell me what the purpose of living, I'm just living to die. Spirit position, the realest niggas to feel it, cause I feel the description of drug dealers, the slit of the thigh. Cold as the kids in the shop, these niggas switch up they rock. Holy, you started, but I finished it. Man, I hope the feeling win. Fuck the whole crew club, and she just got her membership. A million ain't nothing, my nigga, you only nigga rich. Say drink your 8 Lincoln, only time for innocent. You're fucking up the game, what happened to Daddy Kane? Life is a bitch, that pussy is deep as a Cali gang. Niggas rolling and sticking, they rocking these shabby chains. I just put the family on, I'm cheating out the hand. They love you when you can, remember dark is the main. Man, I swear we not the same. You know I ain't rock them games. Praying church don't heal the pain. Swerving in and not the lane. She can bring it in that road, short service like the bang. Put your cop. Man, that's where they nigga hunting. Pistol on me, you act like I can't repent a song. Got floor sweet, bitches call me Philip Drummond. Ferrari engine, he sounding like a million niggas button. Every song is kill a nigga, rob a nigga, beat him. Flip a bitch, slap a hoe, fuck a slut, eat her. Buy a brick, gold chain, Gucci shows the sneakers. The chick are listening and we can copy, she can see them in the show.
When you have an identity, it is difficult for another person to impose a set of values on you. Because having a positive identity and a solid identity is a defense against being penetrated by alien forces. A positive identity functions to locate us in the world, in space and in time and in history. A positive identity gives us a sense of purpose and a sense of direction. A positive identity provides us with self-knowledge and direction. A positive identity provides us with a sense of belongingness. When we say we are African, we are not merely identifying ourselves as individuals. We indicate that we belong to a people, to a culture, to a nation, that we belong to a system of values, a system of perception, a system of behavior, folkways and mores. A system, an identity permits us to cooperate with other people. It permits us to understand what role we must play within a particular group. An identity permits us to know our own interests. An identity permits us to provide ourselves with an evaluative system, permits us to evaluate what is going on in the world. An identity provides us with a defense against possession. I've often said that we cannot be African and be slaves and subordinates of other people at the same time. We cannot be fully identified and at one with our African identity and be subordinate to another people. The European, of course, recognized this immediately. That is why when we talk about our slave history, we often talk about the destruction of African culture. We talk about the rewriting of Black history as an attempt again of destroying the African culture and an African personality. We recognize that the destruction of that personality, the separating of us from our culture, the separating of us from our history, is a separation of us ultimately from our identity. It means a split and a schism is created in the personality. When a schism and a split is created in the personality, the individual is made exceedingly uncomfortable. It is the first rule of brainwashing. When you wish to brainwash a person, when you wish to transform their personality, you break them from their old personality. You break them from their old luring. You make them question and doubt their previous culture, their previous learning. When you get them to begin to doubt themselves, when you get them to reject their culture, when you get them to see their past lives as negative, when you get them to feel ashamed of that past life, when you get them to feel guilty of that past life, and any good brainwasher knows this, and you check out the Moonies and any other brainwashing organization, you will see this process being put forth. Once you get that, the individual then is left in a tremendous state of confusion, in a tremendous state of ambivalence. are, often in these quasi-religious brainwashing places, you see the people running around smiling, and they're all glory, and they're all happy, and they're all loving, and they're all, and here's this confused person cut off from family, cut off from his community, cut off from everything he's known, and is filled with pain, and yet these people seem to be so loving, they seem to be so brotherly, they seem to be so sisterly. Then let me get what they have. And of course, these people are here to say, see, if you thought the way we thought, if you look at things the way we look at it, you'll be happy. You'll be one. You'll be accepted. Then often the individual then accepts the values and the orientation of the brainwashing group and then becomes a part of that group. The splitting then of the African personality is a necessary process in inculcating into that personality an alien personality, an alien spirit, creating the personality of servitude. It makes possible then, in that African personality, that is the split African personality, makes it possible then for the African to begin to believe the lie, to accept the European distortion, to accept European reality, to accept then the stereotypes the Europeans have projected. And it's very interesting as you ride the subways today, and it becomes an embarrassing event to watch our youngsters use the degrading term they use again and again, so loudly, so unselfconsciously. When I grew up, the idea of using this term in public, the idea of letting white folk hear you using that term, calling one, letting any other group of people hear you referring to yourself by that term was unbelievable. But now this seems to be the Cohen of the realm. And we hear it all the time. God, that nigga did this, that nigga that. And, it just goes again and again and again. People must have been destroyed in many ways to talk about themselves in public and to be this way so loudly and so clearly. You must then break the African person from his African identity in order for this to happen. And this, of course, is what happens. Nature abhors a vacuum, we say. In other words, where there's a vacuum, there's an attempt for that vacuum to be filled in some way or another. And of course, we see that when we suck sodas with a straw, we create a vacuum, of course, and that vacuum sucks into it whatever we are drinking. When you create a vacuum in the personality and separating the African personality from its African identity, then there is an attempt for that personality to suck into itself something else, to fill its emptiness. When the European then is in control of information, when the European is in control of so-called knowledge, when the European is in control of so-called reality, in control of definition and so forth, it will be these things that are sucked into the African personality. When the European projects lies as truth, it will then be these lies sucked in to the vacuum of the split African personality and accepted as truth. And then this personality, these sucked in lies, these sucked in perception, these sucked in distorted views of reality will take on a life of their own. They will take on a structure and an organization and represent themselves as a personality. At that point, the African personality becomes possessed by the spirit. It's when we hear, as I said earlier, about the black boys and our children talking that language on the subway and speaking the way they speak. In a way, it is not they who speak. It is the spirit in them that speaks, using their mouths, using their bodies. When they then believe the lies that they cannot learn as well or better than any other people, when they are afraid to try, when they are afraid of failure, when they are afraid of success, when they are afraid to challenge the European. You see, we talk about racism, but I don't think we are yet really ready to do something about it. Because doing something about it in the ultimate sense means preventing and neutralizing the perpetrators of racism. Ultimately, it means, ladies and gentlemen, removing the Europeans' ability to perpetrate racism in the world. Not getting the European to love us, not getting the European to us, but getting the European in a position where no matter how scandalous he is in terms of us, he can do a doggone thing about it. Because we then have the power in and of ourselves to defend ourselves against his insult and against his slander. Ultimately, then, the removal of racism for the world would mean the ultimate neutralizing of European power. But many of us are not ready yet to take on that task. Many of us are still afraid that we are not up to that task, that we cannot defeat the Europeans, that we cannot neutralize the Europeans. So we have opted for some kind of armistice, some type of suing for peace, some type of getting along, because we figure that is the best that we can do. Then we in this sense, then we will be continued to be possessed by an alien spirit. And that alien spirit then will speak to us. When we then fail to believe in ourselves as people, it is because that spirit has taken over us. And it says to us what the European says: you can't succeed. You can't run the world on your own. You're incapable of having a culture. Without us, you wouldn't have VCRs. You wouldn't have TVs because and you know you love it. You wouldn't have compact disc, and you know you're into your music, you see. And you wouldn't have this, and you wouldn't have that. Europeans are mathematically gifted, and you are not mathematically oriented. And Jews can count money, and you don't know how to keep money. That means that there's a spirit in us, and that spirit whispers to us, and it keeps us from attempting many of the things that we should attempt. This can only occur when we have been separated from our African selves.
And I, for one, as a Muslim, believe that the white man is intelligent enough. If he were made to realize how black people really feel and how fed up we are without that old compromise and sweet talk, why, you're the one that make it hard for yourself. The white man believes you when you go through with that old sweet talk, because you've been sweet talking him ever since he brought you here. Stop sweet talking. Tell him how you see. Tell him what kind of hell you've been catching, and let him know that if he's not ready to clean his house up, if he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't have a house. Just catch on fire and burn down. Muslims, we identify ourselves with the gospel. So we're not in the minority. We're part of the majority, and the white man is the minority. You have to know this to understand that. We don't think any odds are against us. We don't fight a battle like the odds are against us. Why the whole dark world today is in unity. It's one. If you don't think so, look at the United Nations. When the dark world votes, they vote as one. They get the colonialists out of Africa and out of Asia, telling them to get out. They don't have any nuclear weapons, but they got a solid united voice, and their unity alone is sufficient to drive the oppressor and exploiter of their people out of their own country. You and I need to learn a lesson from that right there. In the UN, the dark world consists of Buddhists, Hindus, Shintoists, Taoists, Christians, Muslims, everything. But they're together. They forget their religious and political differences. They think as one. They move as one against a common enemy. And right out of Algeria, he's going. Don't think he's not going. He's going. They're getting him out of Angola, out of Tanganyika, out of Angola, out of Uganda, out of Kenya. He's going from South Africa too. He hasn't got long to be there. All over this earth, God's people who have been oppressed and exploited by those who are not their own kind, strangers, are coming together to get the oppressor off their back. You and I learn a lesson from that. We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy. When they sat down at the same time, everyone there had this in common about sin. Some of those who were sitting there were socialists, some were communists, some were capitalists, some were Christians, some were Buddhists. They were everything. All of them was God. And they looked at that dark skin and agreed that this is one thing they hadn't.
Family, welcome to the Rundown with Renee. I'm your hostess, Renee, and we're back tonight. We got another one. Yeah, so tonight we're going to be discussing are blacks too divided in groups to unite? Well, yeah, that's a deep one. But before we do that, as per usual, let me go to my brother Psycho that's on the line. Peace, Psycho, how you doing?
Peace. What's going on, family? Peace and black power. What's good, Renee?
Yes, just running late, as per usual. But we here, we doing it regardless.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, how about you?
I'm good. Same thing as you, just running a little bit behind, but like you said, we here. For those that don't know, we're live streaming on my channel, SYKOPATHeist. That's SYKOPATHEIST, SYKOPATHeist. And yeah, I'm ready to get it in on this topic right here because I got a strong opinion about this.
Okay, this is going to be a good one. And tonight, we're going to be joined by a brother. I'm going to introduce him in 1 second. But family, let me say this too, and I want to bring in my sister Nikki. Let me say this too. Tonight, the topic is going to kind of be in the same fashion, like an open mic. So if you definitely want to call up and give your opinion on tonight's topic, we are going to discuss the Breakfast Club boycott as well, because that is in sync with the show that we had on Sunday night. So we'll get to that in a minute. If you want to call up, the call-in number is 319-527-6058, 319-527-6058, and press 1 if you would like to question or comment. As Psycho said, you can check us out on YouTube as well and chat and all of that good stuff. So, okay, without further ado, peace to my sister Nikki. How you doing? Peace. We got brother Psycho. Yes. What is going on? It's all black power all day, all night.
That's right.
That's just how it's going to be. All right. So tonight we doing what? We asking a question. We got a question for all of you listeners, everybody in the chat on SYKOPATHeist channel on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. But the question is, are blacks too divided in groups to unite? And so let's just get it in. Let's run it down with Sister Renee. This is it's an excellent question. It's a really pertinent question. But I want to bring in the brothers first, and then I would like to speak, though, about the Breakfast Club thing. Y'all want to do that first or last? Maybe first because...
Since we touched on it on the last show, we probably can go right into that first.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we're going to... wrap up the last Sunday night show. That was excellent. Okay, cool. Okay, we're going to go to the... That happened right after we had got off of the stream too, because I had seen it like right when the show was over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So yeah. Okay, let's write it down. Let me bring in brother. This is Brother Africa Black Chaos. For those who are going to maybe you're familiar with Brother, but he had some things he definitely wants to speak down tonight about this topic. He came up with this great topic, like I said, is very, very pertinent. So let me bring the brother in. Peace, Brother Africa. How you doing?
Peace, Sister Renee. Peace, Sister Nikki. And peace, Brother Psycho.
Peace,
How
peace,
y'all
Black
doing
Power.
today?
We're doing well. How you doing?
I'm all right. Running a little late.
Hey, okay, no problem. Yep, we look. I be late all the time. But honey, ain't nothing stopping. We still rolling. So it's all to the good. And you know, black folks, they say we got CPT anyway. So, you know, sometimes it takes us a little bit to get around. So, like, even with the chat or even with things like that, even with the phone lines, I always know as the ball is rolling there, we go, you know, there's some more of our people coming in. So we just be on CPT. It's all good. But let me first, before we get into the topic tonight, and we start to break this down and really vibe on this issue, let's wrap up, so to speak, put a bow on it, for real, on the topic we discussed Sunday night. If you missed this show, please check it out in the archives. You can go to blogtalkradio.com/The Rundown with Renee. Renee is spelled Renee. And Sunday night, we were discussing the transsexual ban in the military. And then beyond that, we spoke about the transsexuality in the Black community and things of that sort. So we went into that. We were definitely graced with Dr. Randy Short coming in and dropping a lot of knowledge. But recently, it's been a lot of occurrences with this strange stuff going on. So the military ban and all that, we discussed that. But then you had Bobby Valentino. Unless you've been under a rock or something, I don't know. Some people are not on the internet like that, but probably a lot of people by now have heard about his situation, honey, where he ran out on the train, honey, and he didn't pay him the money he was supposed to pay. So brother got up out of there, okay? And he left his keys. You forgot your keys. You forgot your shoes. Don't run, Bobby B. Don't run, Bobby B. This is what the... This is what the transsexual said. Well, y'all, please look for the video. It's out there. But then you have brothers from, you know what? While we talking and while y'all go in on what y'all feel about it, I'm going to bring up that clip. Dang, I meant to get this sooner. But you had on the Breakfast Club, I think it was last Friday, you had a brother by the name of Lil Duval. Probably a lot of people are familiar with him, but he's a comedian. He's been around for a good minute now. And he was a guest on there. Now, earlier that week, they had a transsexual guest on there, whose name Janet Mock, okay? And they were on there, that person was on there, whatever. Anyway, on Friday, they asked Lil Duval, you know what I'm saying, with you, what if you found out you was with this person, you thought it was a woman, and this man, blah, blah, blah. And he basically kind of, you know, was just like, hey, they gonna end up dead, or whatever the case may be. They did, whatever. Anyway, long story short, I'm trying to get the clip real quick for those who haven't heard it. But, you know, I mean, he said how he felt about it. You know, he kind of did clean up the answer a little bit later as he was speaking. But I didn't see anything wrong with what he said, because at the end of the day, you know, one, he is a comedian. Two, he was speaking his piece on it. Three, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't go around here deceiving people and think people's going to be cool with that. And that's one of the reasons that you have so many transsexuals whom are killed. Now, we know prostitutes do get killed. I mean, it's not an unusual thing, right? But on top of that, when you are a transsexual prostitute or quote-unquote escort, and some of these guys either they pretend like they don't know, okay, or some of them don't know, and then they turn around and they feel some type of way as far as their manhood, and they turn around and kill the person. And so I'm not saying virility and masculinity. And a lot of brothers, a lot of black men that still pride themselves on certain things like that. So, with that being said, I'm going to pass the mic because I'm going to try to get this clip real quick. On the phone line, I see y'all. I'm going to bring y'all in just a couple of minutes. Hang tight with me. But yeah, I'll pass the mic. I'll go to you, Psycho, first. We can go in the same order. And you can fill in the blanks because I know I kind of didn't go all the way with it. But you have the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much covered it for the most part. Lil Duval was on the show, and they mentioned the whole incident with the brother killing the transgender last week because he got deceived, and they asked for his opinion, and Lil Duval gave his opinion. Pretty much said he messed around and killed somebody if something like that happened to him, and I don't think. I don't even know if I would even take what he said serious, because I think he was saying it in jest, like you just say, like I'll mess around and kill somebody, like whatever. Ain't no telling how a person would react in a situation like that unless you're actually in that situation. But like the first thing you're thinking is like whatever the worst thing is might happen, like you'll snap. So that's pretty much what he was saying. And but he chose the word kill, and everybody dove in on that. Initially, Charlemagne said, you can't just run around here killing people and everything, and he tried to dismiss it and everything, and whatever. These transgenders, these gay people, they will attack you. They are a bunch of cyber. They are bullies. They are a bunch of cyber bullies. These people are off the chain. You don't want to piss off the Jews and the gays. Those are the two entities you really don't want to get under their skin, because they will come after you, and they will come after you hard. And Charlemagne didn't even say anything. This wasn't even his words, but just because it happened on his show, apparently he holds those views. Which doesn't make any sense. Just recently went through something similar to that myself, so I can actually sympathize with him. Like, wait, hold up, I'm not the one who said that. Somebody who's on the show said that, but whatever. Like, so they come out there and they start yelling and screaming. They got to put on the scene. They pretty much did that for the cameras. They had their cell phones on themselves when they was yelling and screaming, just so they can sell it to somebody and get a couple of bucks, I guess. Maybe, I don't know if they sold anybody. They probably just uploaded it on the channels or whatever, just bring some attention to themselves. And they was yelling at Charlemagne like he's the one who actually said this, and it's asinine for them to even come to that conclusion. So he's up there, he's trying to explain to the interviewer what happened, because he had no idea what's going on. So it just made it all just an awkward situation. And then I guess they felt the need to address it the next day. I'm not sure if you mentioned that, Renee, but yeah, they tried to address it the next day. And I didn't feel like they had anything to apologize for, because they didn't do anything wrong. But of course, if you say anything or criticize anybody gay or make any kind of comments or whatever, again, they're going to come after you. I'll pass the mic to Nikki.
Yes. So you said it. I mean, it's very interesting at what we're seeing now, and all of the negative things that are trying to be passed, such as politically and socially, and it's coming through our people, or what people perceive to be our people, because of the show tonight, are we too divided? So I don't think it's that we are divided. It is that we are different people, at different times. You understand what I'm saying? So we all come from somewhere different. But now that this transgender thing is like really ramping up really, really, really fast, and like you said, Charlemagne the guy, he didn't have anything to do with that. And so why come attack Charlemagne? That's just another way to emasculate the black man and to rip the head off of the black family, because no matter what you feel about Charlemagne, he doesn't really present himself as a weakling or as somebody soft, in my opinion anyway. he's very popular and things of this nature. So when you want to get your agenda across, and when you want to continue to destroy the Black family and to run us in the ground and to run your agenda through us, that's something you do. You go for what they think is the head. Okay? So they think Charlemagne is the head. They're seeing him as the head because he has a huge platform. Now, Lil Duval, we've seen him in a couple of different movies and things of this nature. Maybe he should have chosen a few words and things of this nature. Maybe he should have been crafty, or I personally don't think it was a joke. But I think that at certain points, we shouldn't have to laugh at everything. We shouldn't have to have everything as being a joke, or no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because we have that's what white people do. They make everything into a joke just to make you feel better about it, to make you feel better about the pain and things of this nature. So he was serious. I mean, not to say that he would kill someone, but you'd be like, oh, we be killing it. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's like we use these negative environments as positive affirmations, that we need to learn the difference between that. So I'm definitely against that. Those transgenders talking about you picked the wrong one. Nobody picked you. Nobody was talking to you. Unless you are in the business of deception. So everything negative is being pushed as positive, and it's coming through our families. And this transgender thing is very heavy right now, and it's just disgusting how much attention that is getting, and on the back, once again, of Black people.
Yep. I agree 100%. And hey, family, I'm going to get ready to come to you, Brother Africa, but I did get the clip. The clip is 1 minute and 30-something seconds, so it's very short. Brother Africa, you want to go first, or you want to hear the clip first?
You can go ahead and play the clip, sister. I agree with about everything everybody else said, and but I'll probably be a little bit more extreme with it. Because I feel different. I feel like with these transsexuals, kind of like Lil Duval said, we have to deal with them. If they, come, it seems like they got an agenda to where they feel like they can do anything. Like nobody can deal with what they put out there. It's like if we retaliate from them, we in the wrong all the time. So it just comes a point to where if they cross the line like that, we have to deal with it. And part of the dealing with it might be death. Because if I was in that situation, I probably, most likely I would kill one of them. And, they're a group and they together. We have to find a way to counteract that. But you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel you.
Like counteract that. We have to fight fire with fire. If they want to come out on their people like that, like they came out on Charlemagne, we have to some way fight them back and show them that they can't do what they doing to us.
Yeah, it all boils back.
I feel with us just sitting back, not saying anything or doing anything is just not getting it done. We have to do something. What are we going to do about it? What is the solution?
Yeah, it all boils back down to them wanting. They always say they want
equal. Right there. What is the solution to counteract that?
Let me say this, because I want to play this, and then so we can get into the topic too. Family, on the phone line, I'm getting ready to come to y'all. Let me just say this real quick because the lines are lighting up. I do want it to be kind of like a panel style conversation, although Brother Africa is going to lead with what he wanted to break down. So I will ask, if you do come on the phone line, to please leave your line muted, like to mute yourself, and then I will call your number or call your name, and you can come in and speak, please. Because if it gets a lot of feedback, I'll just find the line and mute it, and I don't really want to do that. So please, if you can remember, I know sometimes people move around in different things and may forget, But if you can please remember, and we can go about it that way, because I do want to hear what the people had to say on this issue. Okay, I'm going to play this clip. Like I said, it's a minute and 30-some seconds. And then we'll come back. We'll go to the phone lines. We'll get into the topic. And here we go.
That ain't a girl. I met a boy. That means I met a boy.
After 4 months, she told you I had sex, and then after
We're not having sex. We're not having sex.
After 4 months, you had sex, and she said,
This might sound messed up, and I don't care. She died. I can't deal with that.
That's a
I can't do that. No, dog, you manipulated me to believe in this thing. My mind, I'm gay.
I do think
I'm gay.
No, you're not.
No.
Now, on Friday, he also said this. I do agree that you are taking away a person's power of choice.
Yeah.
You don't tell them up front. That's why when Janet Mock was there, she said
There should be some type of repercussions for that if you do that.
She go to jail or something.
Something. Until then, I'm going to have my own repercussions.
When Janet Mock was there, she said she tells all her partners. She didn't tell the first one.
Who?
Janet Mock.
Who was that?
Transgender activist.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Beautiful person.
Okay.
But you can't go around killing transgenders.
I'm not going to kill transgenders. I didn't say, see, here you go trying to flip my words. I didn't say I'm going to kill transgenders. I said, if one did that to me,
if you had sex with one and then they didn't
tell me, I'm going to be so mad, I'm probably going to want to kill them.
Well, people were mad at the Breakfast Club, said we shouldn't allow them to say that and are boycotting the Breakfast Club. Well, they were asking.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, if you actually listen to the interview instead of listening to the manipulated clip that people have been circulating, you specifically heard us tell him that you can't do that.
Absolutely.
It's a hate crime. I specifically said you can't go around killing transgenders.
Okay, y'all. So that was the clip, and I just want to say this about it. These transgender people. Then they went. Charlamagne was having an interview, whatever, Politicon or whatever, being interviewed by MSNBC. These people came in the damn thing, disrupted his interview. Like Nikki said, you got the round one and all of this stuff, trans lives matter and all of this old bull crap. Okay? Now, mind you, you gonna sit up here and boycott a damn radio show? Why the hell ain't you boycotting the real people who are in positions of power, who don't do whatever y'all feel they should do? That's the white man at the end of the day. And why y'all ain't doing that for y'all blackness? So you can come and boycott this black man over here because somebody told the truth on how they feel and it wasn't to your liking. But you're not going to go deal with these real issues out here in the world. I'm sick of these people, and don't nobody have to bow down to these damn transsexuals. I don't give a damn. You can put a wig on, you can put a dress on and lipstick. You will never be a woman. You will never, ever, ever, ever be a woman. And they get mad at me, and they get pissed at me, and they come for me because I'm sorry, I'm telling you the truth. And it shows how superficial-minded these people are. Because if you really think being a woman is putting on a dress, then you have no clue what womanhood is. And let me tell you something. Being a woman and being a female is a birthright. When a female child is born, she is born with all the eggs she will have in her life. You cannot, I don't give a damn what surgeries and injections of estrogen you take. You will never be able to be that. It is a birthright. Get over it. And I'm sick of these people pandering to this. And the other problem is this. It's people out here screwing these people. Just like Bobby Valentino. Now, if somebody's screwing them, okay? Because you can go in any major city, and I know they got somewhere where it's some damn transsexual prostitutes. And men go and pick them up. Men that have wives and women and children, too. And because of that, these people feel like they have some type of leverage. And see, that's the thing, too. These transsexuals cannot wait to put you on blast. They cannot wait to put out, yeah, honey, I was sleeping with him, honey, and I was sucking his dick, and I was doing this and that. Because, see, when they do that, it makes them feel a sense of power. And it makes them feel a sense of, yeah, I'm a woman. Because I can prove that a man who's supposed to be heterosexual, who deals with women, that he dealt with me. So, yeah, bitch, I am a woman, and I can compete with you. Okay, these are the out here, okay, perpetrating, because at the end of the day, if you are a man and you engage sexually with another man, I don't give a damn how much injections, makeup, butt surgeries they got. You know that's a damn man. They got these trans men out here now too, who's supposed to be females who are men. I did a whole thing on this. I showed all these pictures, and they take all this testosterone and all this, right? And they look like men. And some women, oh, they are good-looking men. I don't give a damn. If I find out you a female, and I know you a female, and I go ahead and deal with you, that's a damn lesbian. I don't give a damn how you look at it, how you hold it up. You're not a man. And these people are not women. And these brothers out here doing this, y'all need to go on and come out the closet. Okay? Because this is what's helping to drive these HIV rates out here as high as they are. Because people is running around screwing these damn things, and they know. And this is the other thing. And people may not want to deal with this part of it. But keep it real. What I think a lot of it is some of these brothers are so hung up on not wanting to wear protection. So they will go, and they know if you're screwing a damn man, that he ain't gonna get pregnant, honey. So he can look like a woman, all of that, right? But I'm gonna screw him. I don't have to use no protection. I know they ain't gonna get pregnant. I know that ain't gonna be an issue. But you're still putting your life at risk. And these people tell men, oh, I'm on my cycle. I told y'all that the other night. They will tell men that, oh, I'm on my cycle. I'm on my period. So they can have anal sex with them. And because so many of our brothers, sadly, they not just hung up on the shape and curves of a woman and like, yeah, and different, things. I'm not going to go out down that road. But some brothers are into now the actual anal sex, okay? And so in their mind, oh, it's just, he's just, I ain't doing nothing with his penis. I'm just going to call it what it is, okay? So this is what's going on, y'all. And these thick-ass bastards, excuse my French, they get a kick out of it. They love it. They can't wait to expose the so-called heterosexual man. So y'all dealing with them, you might as well come out the closet. Because if these people get the opportunity to tell on you, they will. Because it makes them feel good and it makes them feel powerful. And I'm sorry, y'all, I had to go in. But I'm sick of this stuff. I'm sick of this, and it's an attack on womanhood, and it's an attack on black women. And all of this damn Medea, and all of this other stuff, and these silly black heifers running around here. Honey, you are supporting your own damn demise. You are supporting black men wearing wigs and dresses. You are some foolish heifers. And I've gotten so many arguments with black women over this stuff, and they tell me, oh, you don't have a sense of humor. It's just jokes. It ain't that deep. I don't care, and I don't see it like that. And they cool. I have some friends who are like that. And they ain't gay. And they ain't this and that. Shut the hell up. You a damn fool. Because you sitting up laughing at yourself. And these people are making mockeries of black women. Medea is a mockery of a black woman. And all of these other big mama tops, all of that stuff. And I used to laugh at that stuff back in the day. And I was younger. And I didn't really have the same, understanding I have now. But those things are meant to degrade black women. They're not meant to be funny. It's meant to make fun of. So I'm sorry, y'all. I'm passionate about this. I know we want to get to the topic. I'm sorry. It's got to stop.
It's all good.
They got it.
I just wanted to expound on some things that y'all talked about. This all boils back down to they always say they want equal rights. They have equal rights. They don't want equal rights. They want special rights. They want special rights. Right. They want to be able to do whatever it is they want to do and not have to feel any repercussions behind anything. It should be some repercussions. I agree with everything the brothers was talking about when they said it should be repercussions behind something like that. You just can't be doing that should be some kind of law or something. Like again, you're deceiving people Yeah, it's almost it almost falls in the line of rape almost in some cases.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, it's really deep. But they act like they not doing anything wrong, and they act like nothing's supposed to happen to them, and that's just like, what do you? I don't get it. I don't understand.
That's the point I was making.
Do you know these fools told me? Because y'all know I done went there with them plenty of time. Y'all listen. Do you know these fools told me that men who are attracted to transsexual, trans women, and I don't even like saying that term because it's only one woman. It ain't no damn different types of women. Ain't no trans women and cis women. There's women. That's it. And that means a biologically born female. That's it. Ain't no way around it. But anyway, these transsexuals or whatever, they told me that men, and many of them told me this, okay? Because I told y'all before how I got into it with all of these transsexual people, and they went crazy on me. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But they told me that men who are attracted to transsexual women are not homosexual. They're not homosexual, nor are they so quote-unquote bisexual. Y'all know I don't believe in bisexuality, but yeah. So they said that they are still heterosexual women because what they're attracted to is something that is mimicking a woman. They're still trying to be in the vein of a woman. And so I'm like, okay, so these people know that you're a man, and you're going to say that they're not gay, they're heterosexual. Well, if a man is heterosexual, then he wants a real woman. And if he knows there's anything about you that is male, or you were a male, they cut that off and put, I don't give a damn. He knows you were born a boy. I like women. You're not a woman. Goodbye. So don't give me that stuff that's, oh, they attracted to this. And a lot of y'all dudes out here, y'all need to quit it. Because you know damn well when you see a transsexual, I believe that a man can look another man dead in the eyes and know that's a man. It's a whole different essence about women. And it ain't about no makeup. It ain't about no weave. People keep trying to make that, oh, these black women wear. No, honey. It's deeper than that. A woman can have on no damn makeup, no weave, no nothing, and she's still a woman. Okay? So it's not about that. You can look at a person. You can deal with them. I mean, everything's I'm not going into all that. But you know damn well that's a man. And you know it's not a woman. So stop playing these games, y'all. All right. I gotta stop ranting. Okay, let's get into this topic, y'all, so then I'll bring this call in. So the other topic we had tonight, the main topic, are blacks too divided in groups to unite. Now, last night, and Psycho and Nikki, y'all was both there too. In Africa, all of us was there. Well, last night, you know, there was I had to think that like, last night there was a hangout we were all on, and this was kind of like a conversation. There was a lot of talk, indigenous talk that goes around, a lot of talk about, you know, the Hebrew Israelites, a lot of talk about the Moors, a lot of talk about black is not people, it's a crayon color, Negro, and all of this kind of stuff. So, and one of the things that's happened, and even outside of that, you still have other organizations and things. And people, a lot of people have loyalty to whatever belief system, or some call it culture, that they have decided that they're a part of, or that this is where we come from, and people have loyalty to that. So oftentimes, and I've seen this, when you're trying to organize around the sole premise of our so-called blackness, okay? So when y'all hear me say black tonight, then you can take that as so-called black, as more Hebrew. I'm using it as a generic term, family, okay? Because people love making that an issue. Blacks love harping on things that are not the main issue. We could call ourselves, we'll get to that. Let me not go there yet. But anyway, because I want to set it up for Brother Africa. So, it's always a mass confusion. These people say we were here in America already. These people say we were brought here. These people say we're the chosen people of the Bible. These people say we civilized Europe. These people say any number of things, okay? So we got to figure out what's going on here. What do we need to do? And are we too divided in groups already to have any unity when we know darn well our back is against the wall? So with that, I'm going to throw to Brother Africa to start it off. And you have the floor, brother.
Well, yeah, I was when I was sitting, I was thinking about that earlier. Well, I've been thinking about it for a while, and that's the question I wanted to ask: is it too deep in our minds that we can't come together? That we're so divided into our groups that we can't come together to fight off the real enemy. And it seems like that more and more each day that we go on live streams or panels. A lot of disrespect is going on. And it just got me to wondering, will we ever form together to make this happen, what we need to have happen to deal with this white man and these rules that set here for us that they call laws that's not for us in the first place. And it's like back in the day, we didn't have that. When you was in the so-called conscious community or Panthers or any group, you had to come into that with an initiation or some type of form like that. Now, everybody just comes in, and when you let them in, you're having different people with different types of ways of thinking. And that's conflicting right there. And now it's like we've become so divided into these thoughts of our way of thinking that we don't, it just don't seem like we ever going to come together. And that's, I've seen that as a problem and an issue, and I'm wanting to know what is the solution to bring it together, and what do y'all think the solution is? I mean, what are we going to do? Because it's getting worse. And, I just leave it right there. Y'all could take it from there on what you think on it.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in these calls. I know Psycho and Nikki, did y'all want to say something? Let me say this real quick too. When I bring in your call, please keep your line muted on your end, okay? And I'll call out your number and you can come in. Did either one of y'all want to say anything on this first?
I'll wait. Nikki can go.
Okay, yeah, you can go to the call list. Okay, get a little bit more opinions. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna start with 252. Pete, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name's Kyle. I'm calling from North Carolina.
What's up, Kyle?
My girlfriend listens to your show, and she wanted me to call in because I work at a phone center. And we have a lot of these transgender women that work in there because they can hide behind a phone. And I'm in a interracial relationship. She listens to your program. She thought maybe you guys would hang up on me as soon as you found out I was white, but I wanted to call in and tell you what it's like to work with these folks.
Okay, let me say this first. Yes, I knew you were white immediately when you started speaking. That's why I said, what's up, Kyle? Okay, because I was expecting for you to see it go. Okay? But at least you did come and say you're a caucasoid. So, go ahead, I'll let you say a caucasoid.
I don't know what that is, but...
You're Caucasian, correct? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I work at the call center, and there's a lot of different and diverse people that work there. And I noticed when I first got there, there was a really attractive black girl named Sammy. Now, Sammy looked a little big, had big shoulders and stuff like that. Kind of fooled me right off the rip. We all eat lunch together, had like good hair, good weave, all that kind of stuff. Really would fool you, almost like a heavy-set Beyonce. Then there was this other girl at my job. Her name was Deja. And Deja looked like a dude. Big old neck. I mean, I thought Deja was a dude for sure. So I got to be pretty good friends with Sammy because I didn't see these people much outside of work. So we got to kind of hang out a little bit. Well, one day we were in the stairwell going up to the second floor, and she wanted to suck my ding-a-ling. No joke.
All right.
So I guess
all right. You have a good night.
Yeah.
Good night. All right. 813. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from? I don't. These people think they really clever. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you trolling. You try to say whatever to get in there. I knew when you first talked to was a white boy. I sat here and was like, okay, what's up, Kyle? Because I know how they do. Anyway, 813 again. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, so Force gave him away.
Yeah, I ain't nobody got time.
So after she started sucking my prick in the stairwell, I really enjoyed it. I really did. But then I started hanging around Deja, which was a dude. So is it worse to be with a girl that looks like a guy or a guy that looks like a girl? I guess is my big question.
Renee.
Oh, you know what? That's what they did.
Which one do your mother look like?
That's what they did. That's what they did. They was on the other line. Okay, go ahead. We gonna go ahead with you, brother Equanese. Cause see, when I said the other number, they started talking. These people, they something else.
Right there, see.
Yeah, go ahead, brother Equanese.
Well, we know they ain't all homosexuals anyway. We know they all homosexuals anyway, and they don't need a reason to have sex with another man. Okay, they're fetish freaks. Black people to them are fetishes. A black man with broad shoulders and a big, heavy-set Beyonce. You knew it was a man.
Yeah, I mean, they just play games. You know, and sometimes it's funny to humor them, and because they expose themselves. But see, this is what they do because, just to believe, you know, they listen to the show. You know, I've had them call up plenty of times before, and they kind of chill for a minute because they know I'll just hang them up. And from, you know, unlike other people, because people say, well, how do you know they're white? Honey, I know you white, okay? I know that you just within my energy. And if I have any questions, even if I'm wrong, even if I will be wrong, I'd rather err on the side of saying, okay, this is a white troll up in here than on any other side, because you have to do the best you can to keep those people out of your cipher. Now, they can listen all they want to, but you're not going to be able to speak on this, not with us. Now, let me go on back. Go ahead, Brother Equanese.
All right, Black Power.
Black Power, Black African Power. The love to all y'all. I just want to say on the first topic with the transgender thing, and with it all, and I'm going to try to put both of the situations together because it all boils down to, with us as black men, not having an established, organic African identity of manhood going on right now. We don't really have that. We never really saw what a true stand-up man is with our culture in hand. You know, we're still picking up the pieces right now. You know, I think Brother Knowledge Born had said, you know, a lot of times we classify ourselves by manhood being what they say, alpha male. But you know, the alpha male was a Greco form of, you know, viewing the male. So I think and like the brother was just saying, being initiated or going through that rites of passage, that's what's going on a lot of times now. You know, where they say babies raising babies, and where we're, you know, seeing quote unquote grown people all too soon. So, you know, it's kind of like being half raised. And I think, you know, whatever we saying, is leading to, you know, people wanting to be a transgender. I think it has a lot to do with, you know, the things that you guys have talked about, especially you, Renee, how a lot of times our mothers and our fathers have babysat this sick mentality. You understand? How they have babysat, you know, the homosexual mentality. And I don't know if y'all remember, you know, a lot of those same people in the church when our brothers were walking around with their pants hanging down. I'm not condoning that, but they were all over that. They were all over that, lock you up and whatever. But now with the homosexuality, it's like where you can, you know, just sweep it under the table. And, you know, like I said, it's something that is good for the European, even when y'all were talking about the Charlemagne the God issue. I think that serves as good for the European with us having a warped view, you know, actually having black men that are coming up arguing with another black man on why he should be proud to be able to be a woman. You know, I think they're definitely rolling into the times of, you know, where we're going to see the pedophilia. That thing is probably going to be allowed, you know, even with the bestiality. You know, these crackers like having sex with animals. So it is one where our people now, a lot of our people haven't had the proper established identity of themselves. So now they are basically going anyway. You know, rather than a strong black man in the physical, he would rather trade that in to get a weed and become a woman. And it has a lot of times, you know, Renee, what we doing in this, so we talk a lot about the spirit, about building up the inner part, your heart and your mind. You understand? There's a lot of discipline that we must establish, and that's why rites of passage should be, you know, put in place. And, you know, like the brother said, how are we going to get past the point where we can, you know, cut away from all this other crazy stuff? I think going back to look at our ancestral greatness, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921. If we're going to want to build any type of city or town like that in today, I think we have to look at, you know, our ancestors in the past and some of those great and celebrate those, you know. But a lot of times our people rather celebrate things of the European and of the cracker while spitting on African traditions, African ancestors, all that stuff. So thank you, Renee. Thank you, panel. Salute. Black Power.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brother Ikwani. All right, 626. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, how y'all doing?
Hey, I recognize the
Yes.
You know, and I was like,
This is
it? What's up?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
How you doing?
Right. Okay, all right. I just want to join the two things I think I need to two other callers. I want first of all, I want to know the transgender thing. You know, we have to have we're under attack from a social engineering perspective and from a sexual engineering perspective, and we're underneath these attacks constantly. And one of the things I think that we need to deal with, and because I dealt with it, and we have these addictions to pornography and all these type of things. And this war, a lot of stuff begins in the mind. See, and one sister said something about the fetish. She said, you know, and Europeans got this shit. They do all this shit all the time. You know, they got gender fetishes and all these things and gay fetish and all that. And of course, we follow them because in this culture, that's the only culture we've had, and we personify that culture. Instead of personifying an African culture, we personify a culture that's detrimental to us. And we keep doing it over and over and over again, knowing that it's not helping us. We know it's not, because it's producing homosexuals, it's producing transgenders, it's producing etc. It's constantly doing this over and over again, and we just don't get it. And I think that in the conscious community, in the so-called conscious community, but to be a Hebrew, all these things personify that. And I've always said that we need to heal as a people. We have a lot of healing to do because we are truly jacked up, and we really need to, in fact, need to get somewhere in here. This is why I advocate for us as African people in America that we need to get away from here. And I know that's a far out thing for a lot of people mentally, and maybe you know me, and I've been saying it for a long time. And I know it's far out for a lot of people. We need to get away from this away from here because it's damaging us. It's damaging us. I don't care if you got an African name. I don't care if you got this name or you can't African, whatever the case might be. We are jacked up, and we need to do some true healing because we got a lot of healing to do because they jacked us up. They jacked us up on up to now. They are constantly doing social engineering on us constantly. And they might have stepped on transgression here to act like that with that brother on that stage. They probably did that. Probably should have to act like that. Embarrass him. Make him look like that he has a relationship with transsexuals while make it look like he's arguing with transsexuals. They might have set that whole thing up like that. You see, so like I said, but the first thing that we got to deal with as black men and black women, we have to deal with the fact that we got some healing to do, and that we have followed their guidelines of the culture, and we got to deal with this pornography, this mental thing, pornography. I had an issue with pornography, and I did, and I'm not afraid to say that now. There was a time when I was afraid to say that, but I had a cold-blooded addiction with pornography. You see, and so these are things that we need to deal with as African people and understand that this thing is jacking us up. This whole sexual thing in our mind, it got us effed up. You know, it got our women effed up. It got the men effed up. It got us all effed up, and we need to deal with it and replace it and get rid of it. We need to think like get with the men need to address the men and women address what, and we need to have an African view of what we believe in and keep moving. But that's all I think I got to say, man. But anyway, this show, just call back. I heard it. I've talked a long time, so I need to call in and talk. I haven't said nothing, so I appreciate it. We got a lot of healing to do.
Yes, we do, yes, we do, and you hit on a very great point. You made a great point when you said, look at what's being produced. So that's a great question to ask a lot of our brothers and sisters who are supporters of being American, supporters of white supremacy, okay, in some capacity or the other, is to say, what has us being under this paradigm, what has it produced? Because what is, people talk about, the fruit, you can, whatever the saying is, a tree by the fruit it bears or what have you. So what fruit, is this tree bearing? What has it produced? And it's continuing to produce. Now, it has produced a lot of amazing, creative people. I'm not saying that at all. It's produced a lot of that, However, if we were to look at a lot of these issues on a larger scale, we have to acknowledge that it is producing a mass of homosexuality and all these other things. But let me bring in these other two calls. Okay, because I want to get into Renee, but one more thing. One more thing, Sister Renee. One more before I let go. I want to say something about what the brother said about when we separated as a unit. Yes, because that's what I really want to get into. Go ahead. It was separated based on the fact of this. I'm going to make this quick. We're separated based on the fact of this, that we don't want to be African first. We want to be all these different things. Now, I know a lot of people got power with that. With the term African. That's why I'm no longer on those shows anymore. I left the show that I was on before because of the same thing. I got into an argument about Africa over there. So I left them. So my point is that, and I'm saying so we have to, in fact, love Africa. Understand that that's our salvation. We got to understand that if we don't do that, we're going to be in trouble. So I'm saying that we're going to separate it in these communities. These brothers here, these brothers are Moors and all this stuff right here, but it hasn't produced us economically. It has not
going to be in trouble, and the continent is going to be in trouble. And that's what they're going to say about that. Thank you, Renee.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Joshua. And call in anytime. You're very, very welcome. You can stay on the line if you want, because I'm open it up for everybody to talk. To try to get these calls in, because I really want to get to dealing with this topic of are blacks too divided in groups to unite? Now I have a 111 number, and let me say this before I open that line up. If it's some foolishness, it's a wrap immediately. Okay. 111, peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello?
111, peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, I'm 111? Oh, I thought it was 216. But yeah. This is,
No. That's you. I opened 216. Hold on. 111. What's your name? Where you're calling from?
Okay, get
if you talk, your line's muted. I'm going to give you 5 seconds, and I'm hanging up because this is troll behavior.
Yeah, just get rid of
it. Okay.
Hold on. I'm trying to get that person to speak. 111.
Is that me?
I don't know. Did you call anonymous? Somebody who called anonymous.
Okay.
A new caller.
I think I'm anonymous.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm 111, but I'm anonymous.
Okay, that's how it shows up.
Okay, yeah.
All right. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'll wait for you to call me back.
No, your number was first. Yeah, your number was first. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Okay, well, it's freedom of DC. I'll go first.
Okay.
I never heard myself referenced as 111, but now I know. Won't have that confusion no more if I call back in.
Okay. Yeah, it comes up like that.
So basically, that's cool. I just need to know, I know I was, in fact, one of my comments was directed at the BS you just dealt with a little while ago. I was online listening, so I called in. Otherwise, I would have, if I was signed in online, I would have told you immediately to hang up on the call. One of the things you have to be careful of, we don't need white folk. I don't care how friendly they sound. I don't care what, if they're dating black women or black men. I don't care what. When we're talking about these serious situations, it's unfortunate we can't keep them from listening, but we can keep them from participating. We don't need their input whatsoever. And so, none of them, I don't care if they're your spouse. We don't need it. Let them stand by and listen. And and this is part of the reason why your topic of can black organizations unite, can or cannot unite, is because we don't have a clear vision of what and how we got into this predicament. Our ancestors befriended Europeans back in ancient Kemet, and that was the downfall. Once you allow a European in your circumference, you're going to have problems. This is what they resonate, this is the vibration they have on the planet. And so we have to try to get black youth to understand this, that there's never going to be a good white person to be in close proximity to us unless we can completely control them, use them for the resources and support that they can offer without their input, without them being directly connected to us and what we're trying to do. So that's what I wanted to call and share part of it. And it also goes to the Breakfast Club and Charlemagne and all the rest of these cats. The money that's behind these cat shows and the production, that's not serious journalism. It's not serious commentary on anything. It's more entertainment. It's like that show, what is it, TMZ?
Right.
It produces the same kind of result. Even though we generally have black folk discussing it. We can get some good information from Mr. Louis Farrakhan when he sits on there, Umar Johnson, or anybody. We can get good information from most people. But the point is, we need to have these, like what you're doing here, our own media outlets where the information can be disseminated properly. Now, here's what I'll say.
and the reason why I'm saying all this, the influence, once thoughts are provoked or put into people's minds, the power of suggestion. That devil was trying to put the power of suggestion into this conversation with his sexual so-called story about his transgender encounters at work. So this is something we have to be mindful of also. Reason why the gay movement is going so fast and rapidly across this country is because we have been destroyed as a family unit, as I heard either you or one of the sisters say earlier. The strong black family unit with a strong black male has been obliterated to a certain degree in our population across this country. And so what happens is when you have that, people are not having normal relationships anymore for a long time. The mass incarceration, the drug addiction, the alcohol, the death and destruction, leave the black relationships obliterated. And so the power of suggestion comes in, and homosexuality and any other demonic force can be entered into the mind, especially of young people, which is really why I want to drive home. You know, adults, you should know better. You should study, research, discipline yourself, do whatever it is you need to do. But these youth don't have nobody directing them except folk like yourself who are strong enough to stand up to this demonic attack and combat it. So the youth need to be protected from you. And it's the black folks, the black adults that I saw a lot, man, who keep supporting these homosexuals based on these lies that they push. I'm not saying nobody should be killed or transsexual or anything. That's not my business. I'm not, that's not what I'm into. I don't want to suggest anybody to kill it, but I'm saying that in a sense you should kill them, at least in the terms of how you reject their behavior, how you reject anything else they say and do in society. You should kill it. Kill the thought. Kill the suggestion of their behavior so that youth can be free from that, All right, I'm just going to go right there. This Freedom DC, I just wanted to jump in there. I got to go, really, but I just want to get in because I like the show already. And I think really good part of listeners. And just want to get in a little bit and say that don't play with these demons, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother. You're welcome to call me anytime. You are 100% correct on all that you said. And I really should have hung him up from the gate. And I was. Sometimes I play along with them just to see where they're going to go with it. But, no, you're absolutely correct. And also all that you said in terms of us, coming together or the lack thereof. But, no, you were on point. I appreciate your call. Okay. Now.
Right on.
Yes, you're welcome anytime. Okay. Now, 216. I think that's Brother Alquan. Is that you?
No, it's Fred.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. But you was Alquan. Okay, peace, Fred. How you doing?
How you doing?
Doing well.
Good in yourself.
Great.
Great. I just tuned in.
You had the floor.
I caught the window. I just tuned in and I just caught the dude talking shit about he got here from a transgender. I was like, he gonna catch AIDS, but anyway. I just say, all that gay shit, man, it's all white culture, man. That's all that shit is, man. It's just they really, really trying to, put us under the influence of that. And so, a lot of people getting turned out, a lot of brothers getting turned out, and it's a demonic, heavy influence everywhere. I've never seen it like this. That's just what it is. But as far as like us trying to have an independent nation, in order to have that, I mean, we can have all the African names in the world, all the information in the world. But at the end of the day, this government got to be destroyed. That's just like you trying to start an independent nation under this government. It's not gonna happen. I mean, you look at Black Wall Street, it kept under attack. And you had Marcus Garvey. You had too many traitors, right? That's spying on you, that's working for the government, that's going to help, that's going destroying it, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's going to have to be some major overthrowing, you know what I'm saying? Some straight up military overthrowing that we got to do. But, Right now, we ain't really built for that right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, we too comfortable under this government. There's too many Negroes out here comfortable. You know what I'm saying? They get money and, you know, I got this and I'm that. They too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you trying to draw a nice artwork on a crumpled piece of paper. It ain't gonna look right. You're gonna have to destroy that piece of paper, throw it away, and start fresh. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, we trying to paint a picture on a messed up piece of paper, and it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I really got to say about that. You know, as far as you saying about the division, of course. I mean, we can't even come together like Bobby and Jerry. We can't even come together and make a candy store, let alone overthrowing the white man.
Okay.
Because everybody got too many belief systems and too many. Everybody want to claim to be Muslims and Christians and this and that. We don't want to be God. We don't want to be supreme beings. We rather be titles, these different foreign titles. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being the supreme rulers that we supposed to be, because we, you know what I'm saying? We just got dumbed down like that. You know what I'm saying? Our vibe got dumbed down like that. So we gonna have to really rejuvenate ourselves. You know.
Hey y'all, let me interrupt you real fast. Hey y'all, there's some feedback in the background. Please just mute your line if you can, and you can just unmute it when I come around, or you know, if you do want to chime in. All right, thank you. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. That's all I have to say. It's a great show, man. That's pretty much what I had to say.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. Yes, and you're welcome to stay on mine as well. Your line's open. I wanted to say, because I want to kind of push back on some of the brothers who are coming from the African perspective. So I want to kind of go around and get people's input on this. But one of the things I will say first is, and I don't want to be disrespectful to this particular brother from last night's stream. I was, y'all know I can be silly sometimes. I was just kind of being silly last night, but I was for real too. But he was speaking about, him and others. He was speaking about getting this land, and y'all probably know what I'm talking about. The brother who kept saying, talk to your grandmother, then go down and found this stuff to get this land and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying that cannot happen. I'm not saying that is not true. But what I was trying to find out is, with even all these different ideologies, because they believe that we are the indigenous people, so thus the indigenous people to this land, so thus we need to make sure we go claim. They talked about claiming your land, okay, and these types of things. And what I was trying to get them to answer for me or whatever is, how do you expect for the same system that oppresses you to grant you land because you say, I claim this land or I'm tied to this land? Yeah. And what I was asking these brothers is, if you go and you do this paperwork, you do these claims, I'm tied to this land, and I done talked to my grandma and all that, and he was being like, oh, you being facetious and you being condescending. And I was laughing a little bit here and there, but I was just kind of in a silly mood. But for real, okay, you go talk to your grandma and them, and you great whoever, you talk to them, and they say, yeah, our family owned land, such and such. Then you talking about you go down so-and-so and fill this paperwork and all this stuff. Now, what if you do all that and you get to their court and they say no? Mm-hmm. And they say, we do not honor this. No, you don't have any land. You don't have any property, and you are unable to prove that. Your grandmother or whoever, your great uncle, telling you this does not prove anything, and it does not tie you to this land or any of it. Then what? Because that's one of my issues with the Moors and some other people who are on a sovereignty thing. I understand. We definitely do need to know the legal system. So I'm not arguing that at all. Like, that's definitely a thumbs up. But in terms of this legal system granting you any of these things, what then? What ability do you have to impose consequences on the United States government if they say no to your claim?
Right.
If they say no to your case, if they say no to your paperwork, then what? It's a no. And so to sell these ideas as if they are solutions to our people, and our people right now are being gunned down in the street, I cannot rock with that. And I sometimes feel like with a lot of these different organizations and these different affiliations, that some of it sometimes is because we want escapism. We want to focus on something other than our true liberation. And I feel like a lot of people know that filling this paperwork out and saying your grandmother had this land is not going to free Black people. So that's a safer route. It's a safer route to keep Black people chasing their tails about supposedly getting this land than it is to talk to Black people about what's really going on. These people have set this system up such a way. That's why the brother who was so on point when he said the system has to be destroyed. You cannot expect for the system to honor anything that Black people put forth. I just don't see that. And we think that, I think sometimes we think that our ideas are necessarily brand new, but it's been so many leaders, people that we would never even know, who have come up with these types of things and have put this in motion. I think at the end of the day, Black people gonna have to be able to stand up. And as the saying goes, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. And I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm just saying in terms of defending our community, protecting ourselves and our families and our future. Because time is getting very short, y'all. And these people are ramping up more and more and more. And we see now that Trump did a damn press conference, but he was speaking to those police last week, and he federally endorsed police brutality on Black people. Now, with some Black folk who don't really want to see it that way, would say is he didn't say nothing about Black people. He didn't say that you can beat them up. The man said you don't need to be protecting their heads. He said you can rough them up. Okay? And if you're talking about who the police has the most encounters with, who are we talking about? We're talking about Black people. Where is the predominant number of police patrolling and all that? Where is that at? Around Black people, or so-called Black, Hebrew, Boer, whatever term you want to use. That's who it's around. So why are we going to sit up and play games with this? Why are we playing these games? And then some other guy was on there talking about, well, we need to go to the rural area. If we went to the rural area, then we would not be in the same conditions we're in. If we were in these rural areas, then we're not dealing with police departments or whatever, we're dealing with the sheriff. Okay? And he's saying that will be better for people. This other guy talking about, the only people who can go on the land and out in the rural area is the redneck and the Negro. What? What in the hell is wrong with people? So I just wanted to put that out there. Y'all, we gotta get serious. And like I said, I'm not gonna be disrespectful to nobody if the brother's listening or whatever. Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like I told them before, like, I'm just a realist. I just look at things as they are, man. And I feel like that's our problem, is escapism. And it's a fantasy dream, a fantasy world. Go ahead, Psycho.
No, I totally agree. It's a lot of that around in our community. Our people they can't accept reality. You know, they like you said, escapism. They they're searching. They're in constant search for that ultimate feel good story. You know, they like me. I'm a truth seeker, so you know I'm always striving to find the truth. But I also need good evidence to support this these quote unquote truths, because you let a lot of people call it everybody has the truth, but nobody's talking about the same thing, but everybody claims that their knowledge is the truth. So you know, and a lot of it is bickering over frivolous stuff that really isn't going to help our liberation whatsoever. None of these theological positions are going to help our situation. None. Whether or not we indigenous to this country, Africa, Canada, wherever, that's not going to help our situation. None. And none of this stuff is going to help our situation. The only thing that's going to help our situation is getting our minds together, as far as like understanding what situation we're actually in. You understand? Like we all know, well, most of us should know how we got here. The problem is a lot of us don't, but at least understand that what the situation we're in right now, and understand what it takes to get us out of this situation. Meaning we gotta get focused on how do we, like you said, tear this system down, because you got to either learn how to maneuver within it, which that hasn't worked over the last X amount of years. So we need to learn we need to try to figure out how to tear this system down and try to rebuild it back up, or just leave this country altogether. But we can't be arguing and bickering over nonsense. It's because it really doesn't make any like some people are just willfully ignorant, and it's just like they just deny the facts. It is just, again, feel good stories. We just love feel good stories.
We definitely do, and I agree. Okay, I want to go around. Anybody want to put input on that? And then I would like to get to okay, go ahead. Okay. Go ahead, Nikki.
I just want to start with you said.
Go ahead, Joshua. Then Nikki.
I just wanted to say.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Nikki.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Us being divided in that manner, is that's just how it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Different people have different purposes. Now, as far as us leaving, I'm not going anywhere. I'm on my land. Okay. So seriously, my family had so much land, right? Now we have nothing. Okay, so that's how it happened within less than 150 years, right? Dating back to the 1800s and things of this nature, they came right back and got it. You understand? And it was like my family fell for it. So this is a personal story. My family fell for it. They didn't realize that there were other things that could be done, and that's for a lack of knowledge. Okay, we're trusting these people to take care of us when we should be taking care of each other. And so as far as the system goes, I do believe to an extent that there were certain things that happened with us. That's why our titles and labels, classifications or what have you, I'm not exactly even sure what to call it. It's changing every couple of years. Every 25 years or so, we have a new label. Okay, so like right about now, it's time for a new label. Okay, we just got African American. I'm saying we, even though I do not consider myself to be an African American at all, especially since I was born before 1986. Okay, so it's like that is to keep us confused. Our history is torn. Our lives are torn. We're always accepting everything that comes down the line, and I don't understand that. So with the property thing, my cousin and I, we calculated, figure it out, right? We both went to school, college, and things of this nature. Our elders are still looking at us like we don't know what we're talking about. And so I was going to get the lawyer off of the case And then we was just gonna, you know, do whatever needed to be done to get that one person off of the estate. No, the lawyer comes in and says, in order for me to get paid, this is the lawyer talking, in order for me to get paid, you have to sell your land. And I'm like, oh, why? Why? What? Like, he assumed all responsibility, which is one of my family members, and we ended up with nothing. Okay? So it's very important for us to know what's going on. And we can't always just dismiss these, like some of these laws and things of this nature and just say, oh, that's the white man. It's not always just the white man, okay? Some of it is just universal law. That's just the way things go no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So I think with writing things down and figuring things out is the initial step. We also need to be clear on our history. If we're not clear on our history, which we're not, and we absolutely have no history, we have no history. And that's a fact. We only know what our parents are telling us and our grandparents are telling us. We have no way to identify what happened before a certain period of time. Okay? Because once again, the labels of black and Negro and colored are new terms. They're not even, 100 years old, maybe 100 years old. Okay, so what were they calling us before that? We don't know. Like, how will we discuss? Everybody was not a slave. Okay, let's just be clear on that. Everybody, I don't think that we all believe that everybody was slaves. And even if we were, we cannot trace our families back. We can't trace our families back to Africa. I don't know anybody who has traced their families back to Africa. I don't either. And my family, 400% fact, has been here for hundreds of years. That's a fact. Okay? So when do you stop being from Africa? Okay? So we can't just assume that everybody is the same because we're not all the same. And that's just not going to happen. We're never going to. And we all have different histories. We all come from different places. I know my family is from here. It's from Maryland for hundreds of years. We've been here. And that's a fact. Okay? It's at one point in time we were to claim land and things of this nature that was supposed to go on. It didn't happen. And they closed it. The UN closed it. Obama helped to close it. And they put a deadline on it for 2014. So if you didn't know about it, okay, then you wouldn't have done it. But there was a time and there was a time period and things of this nature. There are things going on where people are claiming land and things of this nature. However, they are throwing you in jail. Okay? So but let's be clear. Just because they throw you in jail does not mean that you did something wrong and things of this nature. That's not what it means. It doesn't mean that at all. It doesn't mean you're guilty of anything or anything like that. It just means they're trying to get you out of the way. They may convict you, they may not. But there are certain things that can be done. And I think think tanks, to explore this a little bit further and to write it down, write a declaration down, get our flags, go to the four corners and read our declaration. But we're going to have to be able to defend it.
Right.
Hello?
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, I just want to say that.
Hold on, go ahead, Joshua, and then the other brother who asked a question. Then you go, and then I know we got Brother Equanies, and we can just go on from there. And Brother Africa. So go ahead, Joshua.
Okay.
So yeah, I just want to say this. We have a history because it's been written that we had history. Period. And this is the thing that during the time of black people having lands, etc., all these things, we had land. That's one of the best stories is the story about the brother. I forgot his name. I can't even tip my tongue. The brother who had a Central Park in New York City. That was a black man's land. So but they found a way in the late 1800s how to get it from come here and they got free land. They got free land. It was given to them. They didn't have to work for it. They had to buy it. They didn't do nothing. Black people been here who was here. And we were here. But the point I'm saying to us as an African people, and I say African people because I know those black people who were here in America, Apology has been here. They came from somewhere. They didn't start up from the ground and be here. They migrated here 1,000 years ago. They was here. So I agree with that. But again, they came from the continent. They did. And that's the bottom line. We try to get away from that. And I think that's been the problem. You see? So I'm saying we have history to show that we were here. There's history to show that we were doing Reconstruction. We, in fact, was outdoing white people. This is why the Klan was formed. And also, what we wanted to do, because they had the control parties and all those type of things. The Ku Klux Klan got together, etc. But they were doing these things because they saw that black people were building infrastructure for themselves, and they destroyed it, so we got to stop them. It wasn't the fact that they enriched us. They knew, in fact, if they invaded the heart, the progression, and the infrastructure building of black people, they knew that it would be a whole different America today. So they did what they did to stop us from building infrastructure. This was the institution of lynching and racism, etc., and policies that were put against blacks not to get land after a certain period of time. So yes, we have history to show that we were here. We have history to show that we were doing things at that time to get away from here. This time I'm going back to Africa. It was back in 1700. Paul Coffey said that he thought that we should go back. He saw what was coming. He said these white folks are not going to play fair. And that's the bottom line. You see? So yeah, some of us want to stay here if we want, but the bottom line is for those who start and say, look, I'll take my chances back home on the continent. I'm all for that. We take our chances back home. So I'm telling you, on the way to finish, the only way we're going to do it for white folks is to fight them physically. Europeans don't have a history of beating up on us. Don't have no history of giving up nothing. So if you're ready to go battle, you better start getting yourself together with some battling, know how to shoot some guns, know how to use a knife, etc. So they ain't going down without a fight. That's a fact. They got to get that history to prove that. They got to hurl their history. They fight when they want to take stuff. They fight when they want to guard stuff. They go into I agree with that. We have a nature of defending ourselves and fighting. We're not one of the barbaric nature like that. We just don't go fuck people up and take their land. That's it. And call it a day. That's not what we do. So I'm saying, unless you want to stay here, they got some plan, and their issue is to fight us. That fool Donald Trump, he did not stand for those police to make that statement for nothing. He knew he was putting out that thing. I'm like, man, y'all keep on doing what you do with these Negroes. All right. That's what they were doing. So, unless you're prepared to fight, that's it. That's why I got more, but that's what I got to say.
Well, let me say this, family. We have 9 minutes left in the live stream before we go into overtime. So that means if you would like to get in on this conversation, on this topic, you have 9 minutes to call in. The calling number is 319-527-6058. 319-527-6058. And make sure that you press 1 if you would like to speak. If you are listening via the Blog Talk website, you will be disconnected, or you won't be able to hear the overtime after the next 8 minutes. So you have to somebody needs to change the thing, fire detector, whatever it's called, smoke detector. Anyway, you either have to call in. You either have to call in on the phone line, or you can go to YouTube to hear the rest of the show in chat, and that's youtube.com/SYKOPATHeist, SYKOPATHEIST. Okay, thank you. And now we're going to the brother, I think, was it Freedom?
Okay.
And then you can go, Brother Africa. Whoever brother said, can I ask a question? And they said it after, before when Yahshua was about to speak. They said, can I ask a question? I said, you can go after Yahshua. Was that Brother
Brother Freedom?
Fred.
Oh, Fred, okay. So we're going to go Fred, and then we're going to go with Brother Africa, and then we'll go from there. So go ahead. You have the floor, Fred.
I just want to say, you know, as far as like background, like your ancestors and your lineage, I mean, one thing about Black North American folks is like we're like a compound of people. You know, we come from many tribes. We come from tribes, African tribes, indigenous tribes, and we come from a variety of different tribes, and we can't pinpoint what exact tribe we actually come from. I mean, we a combination of Cherokee, Indian, Blackfoot, Watusi, whatever tribe your grandparents were. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we have a hard time, you know, trying to figure out where do we come from exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because we come from a variety of many different tribes. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, whatever tribe you come from, what good is it doing now? I mean, all this tribal stuff is not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's not overthrowing the system. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is good to know what tribe you came from, but what good is it doing us now? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Can I brother finish off? Let the brother finish off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, is that your thing? Oh, because you said it's not doing nothing for us. What is it supposed to do?
I mean, it's good. It's good to know that you come from these different tribes. Again, the tribalism it's not overthrowing the system. It's not, you know, that's not really the focus right now. It's just, you know, focus right now is how we gonna get out of this.
Somebody got feedback. Let me go back to my screen. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's
I'll ask you one more time, y'all. Please, can you mute the line, or if at least if you're not gonna be on mute, please don't have any noise in the background, please. And thank you so everybody can hear. All right. Go ahead. Whoever was speaking, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was making a statement about, you know, tribalism and, you know, different tribes. You know, we come from a compound of different tribes, and, you know, this is why, you know, a lot of us, you know, like, we come from Africa. I would love to know where, you know, what African tribes I come from. I mean, as far as I know personally, I only know that I got Cherokee and Blackfoot. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? Personally. You know, but
Okay.
No, I'm just saying. That's all.
Okay. Because I got 2 more lines to bring in.
I think knowing okay, go ahead.
Somebody had to take
See, that's how they got on. That's how they were taking over, right? Because you're supposed to be able to hand down. That property was supposed to be handed down to, you know, that family member, which is my mother's line, and then our line, okay, and then our children's line, right? So all of those lines are still alive right now, right? So some of my mother's brothers and sisters, their great grandparents. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we are alive, and we will be able to see that we can in our future. So at this point, we have nothing. I'm not going to say that, but as a family, you see what I'm saying? As an estate, we don't have it to hand down to that particular, you know, because of who had who, this one had this one, that one had that one, and things of that nature. We cannot track our lineage. And that's how the people that are in power are still in power. Even people in the military, right? So a lot of those families go into the military. Well, this one was in the military, that was in the military. Same thing with the police. Oh, well, my father was a police. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. We're not doing that. And that's why it's important to know where you came from.
I agree. Let me get Brother Africa. And then as we move into this last hour, we got 3 minutes left in this in the live stream. But as we move into the last hour, I'm gonna bring in these other couple of callers. Please, y'all, let's be very concise and to the point with our comments, so everybody can kind of talk. So go ahead, Brother Africa. You got the floor.
Okay. First of all, I want to deal with the land issue. What we got to realize, one thing is that even if you own land. If the government wants to build a highway through that land,
right,
they're going to offer you money for that land. And when they offer you money, they're going to give you a final offer. If you don't take that final offer, they're going to take your land anyway. So us really own the land, we own it until they need it. Number two, we have to build an army if we're going to get any reparations. Because if you get the land and you line up all these black folks out here, not everyone is conscious. You got your people out here that loves money, and they will sell the damn land back to the white man. On top of that, we have to understand water laws. Now, the white man, you remember he said he's slick and quick. He'll steal shit off your tongue before you can talk. Now, what we got to understand is water law. Now, once you get the land, now the white man owns the water, and he tells you you are out of an annex zone, and you can't get water on that property. Now your land becomes useless. You can't build a house on it or nothing because you can't have a functioning toilet. See, we have to break down the system in order to be able to make all of this work. See, all this talk that we have and all that is so good, but we don't get deep into it like we should. Now, that fella that came on there, raised all that hell, he don't understand all this. That they can take your land when they want to.
10 seconds.
That's how I got this 4 acres that I'm on now, because they wanted to put a highway where my grandparents lived. So Granddaddy took the best offer. He held out for it. And that's how we wound up getting what we got right here. Now, the Davises own a mountain, but the mountain is no damn good because now we can't put no water on it because it's out the town zone. So it's no good. 160 acres sitting there, and you can't do nothing with it. See, so we don't got to understand how deep it is and how we got to bring down the system and change the system, because it was never designed for a people of color or a black person.
And that's what I kept.
Since people want to say brown or whatever, they got to go deeper and understand that everything is deeper, and we have to have an army if we're going to get these reparations and all that, because they're going to find a way to get all that shit back. And that's what I had to say. And that's, I know we short on time.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to get. Thank you, because if people can just kind of be about that long with what you had to say, that's cool. We can probably keep it flowing where everybody can still continue to give their views. I'm getting to open these lines now, and then I'm gonna get these two people, and then we'll go back to the original callers on it. Everybody who hasn't gotten to speak again yet, then you can go. No, you were 100% correct, and that's it. But the thing is, like, when I say those kind of things, people feel like I'm being negative, I'm being pessimistic, that I'm just shooting down anything. I'm not doing anything like that. What I'm doing is I'm being realistic, and I'm understanding that you are not dealing with someone who honors treaties, who honors laws, who honors a code of ethics or whatever. They don't honor any of that. Because, and I've told these people before, these people will go, and they just did it here recently with this Obamacare thing. They will go in a damn midnight session, okay? In a midnight session and pass a law on your behind. They will go in a midnight session and change something on your behind. That quick. And they don't even sometimes, they don't have to even change that, because it's going to be what they say. What does Neely Fuller tell us? Because I'm white and I say so. Okay? Because I'm white and I say so. If I need this land, what did they do with the damn pipeline up in the Dakota? Was it South Dakota? What did they do with that pipeline? Trump pushed it through. Yeah. Trump pushed it through. So understand that these people make the laws so they can change the laws. Okay? And that's again why we go back to what our great honorable brother Malcolm X said, which is that nobody can give you freedom. If you're a man, you take it. And what that basically is said is sums this up as well. Because think about
give you something, especially with this situation, they can take it back. So just as well as you can go fill out this paperwork and my grandma had this land and all this, like y'all said, what is the eminent domain or whatever? If they come back and they say, we need this land, we want this, yeah, they can give you some offers at first, and most of the time they're going to give you some crappy offers at that. But they can give you some offers, and they can even go up on them, okay, we'll give you some offers, but at the end of the day, if you say no, they can still take it. They can still take it. So we have to be realistic about this thing. You got black people running around here thinking, if my grandma say we have this land, I got this land. That's the furthest thing from the truth. It's ridiculous. And I feel like those are energy wasters, the time wasters. What we really need to deal with. We have social issues right now where our people are suffering. I think there is a set of long-term goals and then short-term goals. But I honestly feel like a lot of our people don't want to deal with short-term goals because short-term goals means you're going to have a backbone. Short-term goals means you're going to have to be accountable. Short-term goals means you're going to have to put your foot down. And if you're running around here trying to get along, go along, get along with white folks, if you're sitting up here laying around with them or lusting after them, if you're sitting up here thinking they're your friend, or you sitting up here scared, meek, and mild, then hey, we as good as done. We as good as dead. Do people not get the severity? So let me open these lines, and then, like I said, we'll come back to everybody who was on who hasn't, gotten spoken in this last, speaking. Okay, I'm gonna start with
say this right quick. You was a lot of times when you tell the truth like that, you scare a lot of them, and that's what the problem is. Well, they get a lot scared. They get scared because it's scary. But that's all,
Yeah, I agree, and I told.
I'm saying what you say, sis.
I agree, and I told when I ask these hard questions, some people feel like that I'm being the B word. Like people try to be funny, you know what I'm saying? And they feel like, oh, I'm being whatever. Like, no, I'm not. I'm concerned about this thing, but see, my thing is I'm not disillusioned by white folks. I never forget who they are, no matter what. No matter if I work with them, no matter if I have one of the next, I never forget. I never forget that at the end of the day, they support the white supremacist power structure because they benefit off of it, and they're never going to forsake their white privilege for your black behind. I never forget that. So a lot of people can't handle it. But 804, peace. What's your name? Where you calling from? 804, if you're speaking, your line is muted. 804 going once.
Yes, 804. It's 804. I was on mute.
Oh, okay. Peace to you, brother. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Magneto from VA, Richmond, VA, right?
All right. Peace to you, Magneto.
Okay. What I've been hearing today, everything positive, but this is what we got to be mindful of. This genocide on white America. They already killing them in South Africa. Now, our position is how we gonna get around this genocide against them. And see, another thing I got against white people that I really hate about them. Now, they gave reparations to Israel, the scum of the earth, and Japan. Now, this is why we not really getting reparations. Listen, them Jews and them Japanese, they be financing acquisitions and whatever else they wanted finance through what they call reparation bonds. See, they pumping arms. That's why we ain't gonna get it. Can you imagine if they decide to give us reparations, it'll be nigger bonds everywhere? They can't give us that. But it's all going down to bombs. And they ruling us through their lives and their steps. Everything you did to us white people, you can say you came from Europe and more. I don't give a damn where you say you come from. Your ass is white. When they come against you, they bringing these people from all over the world to get your ass. And look. They said, look, get the white woman, because the white man ain't doing a good enough job. They raping these white women over Europe, and they ain't getting up but a top on the head. But look, I go on and on about these white people. But I'm going to let other people go in. White people, look, get on your knees. And I'm sorry for kissing, for everything I did, that my ancestors did to black people, and so on and so on. You better be in tears and you better me. Because a fear is upon your head. The more you hate black people, ooh, gonna be a chocolate. They gonna get it, baby. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get off. My granddaddy went over there to World War II. He was one of them cannonball drivers. He made history. The blacks were driving ammunition supplies to the front line in Germany. Landmines everywhere. It messed my granddaddy up. When the man came back home, he didn't ride much as a bicycle. You know what he said? That the Americans and Russians mistreated them Germans. So everything y'all did to German people, you next, America. Look at the United Nations. It didn't set up. And look up the death panel. They get ready to put it on these white people. The deck is stacked against them. And see how they say they got their right, their constitutional right. You watch you be snatch them up. The state police. I went on a work assignment in one of these buildings. They said it was an Amazon building. They built 5 of these big giant Amazon buildings within 9 months. And I asked them, where was they going next? They're going down Texas. If you look, they're building space. All the space that they done built, there's not enough space for these white people. They got to kill no less than 6 kids. And black people, you go bear with them too.
Well,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Okay.
You see how they come in and all that? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I do have a couple of questions for you. When you say white genocide is going on, what do you mean? In like what way?
I said white genocide.
Did you say that when you first got on?
Yeah, I said genocide. I said y'all don't see the genocide against white people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's white?
You know?
Go ahead.
Say it again.
No, I'm saying what type of genocide? Like what? Like more as far as more specifically, what genocide? What type of genocide?
Patriotism is a bad word. Nationalism is a bad word. See, the United States, they don't even own a war. The United Nations owns the war. And the water got more than 15,000 chemicals in it, 9,000 chemicals, 6,000 disinfectants. They even put the Kulu in the water, the Creon. You can't destroy Creon with a million, with all the heat that they can put on it. You cannot destroy it. See, all this is their white people. The food they eat decided don't even recognize it. I mean, everywhere you look is death at white people. And who in the crossfire? Then you look at the Civil War and what we were going through during the Civil War and the post-Civil War era. I'll tell you, white people, hey, your ass will get it, daddy. You can hate the man and love the live. But a lot of black folks will be sacrificing for these white people. I'm not going to make a sacrifice for your ass. But if I know you good in your heart, I might do something for you. But I scared my answer might chuck my ass down. But white people, you go get it.
I'm not gonna go too heavy into it right now.
Brother Prince is letting us speak, and I got to step away for a minute. But I mean, okay. So I would say that this is all I would say, though, brother, to what you said in terms of that, as far as right now. The thing about it, when I do hear people talk about how, white man is going to get it, and how they getting it, and they're going to get it, and they're going to be wiped out, and even, shout out to my Hebrew brothers and sisters, and many of them who say, I guess that's going to happen to white people, this and the other. Okay, hold on, brother. But the thing about it is, I'm not going to go, whatever people don't believe, so I respect that. However, if you just look at it, not even well, for me, not even on a religious level, but if you look at how these people have done, how they just have done over time, if things are getting turned up on them, that makes them turn up even more on black people. So my feeling is, this is not time. Can I just finish this, please? This is not time to have, and I'm not saying you're saying this, but I'm just saying this in general. But this is not time for some sort of rejoicing of, they get killed off and they have a negative birth rate. God is killing them. Can I finish what I was saying? Can I finish my comment?
Brother Rich.
Please allow me. Thank you. Please hold on, brother. I was speaking.
I'm all right. You go ahead. But I'm saying, I'm mindful every day that I live what my black people went through. I don't know about you and other black people.
Brother, I was speaking. All right. You're not going to disrespect me. You're not going to disrespect me on my show. That's what you're not going to do.
I'm not disrespecting you. I'm giving you reality.
You don't need to give me reality about anything, and you're not giving reality. I was really trying to be nice about it. I really was trying to be nice about it. But you're not going to disrespect me. You're not going to tell me to get to my point, and it's my show. Like what? And that's not disrespectful. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going back to my right now. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with these different people or whatever.
What is he emotional about?
Anyway.
What is he emotional about?
I don't know. Well, let me finish what I was saying. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to go into all that right now, but anyway, here's the thing. If these people are slowly dying and wiped out and genocided, of which, yes, they have a negative birth rate. Yes, the world is getting hotter and all of that. Like, I'm not discounting any of that, and I agree with that. I speak on that. But to have it as some sort of time of some rejoicing, and they gonna get theirs, and that's right. They taking them out. Listen, we don't know any of that to have any real truth as far as for the future, because can't none of us see into the future as far as around. What we do know, however, is whenever it gets hot on these people, they get hotter on black people. These people, even though they help destroy this planet and this ozone layer and all this stuff, they would rather take us out. They would rather kill anybody if they're dying than to leave anybody still here, especially not black people. So what does that mean? That means the worse it gets for them, the worse they're going to try to make it for black folks. So it's not no damn time of rejoicing. It's a time of strategizing, of building, of unifying, of getting our minds right. That's what it is. And this is why you see them turning up more and more and more on black people. This is why you see them shooting down unarmed black men, women, and children more and more and more. This is why you see them poisoning us like they are, doing what they're doing even more so. It's because they know it's getting hot on them, so I'm going to make it hot on these niggas. So all of that, they getting there, all that ain't nothing for us to be sitting back and cheering on at this time, because if what's good that we're making cheer about that, if they killing us too. If we going out with them, why the hell would you want to rejoice on that? You got to get your mind right, and you study your enemy. Go ahead, Prince. Peace, Prince. You go ahead, and when Prince is done, when Brother E, I have to step away for a few minutes. So, Psycho, can you please hold it down for me? Brother E, I'm going to go ahead and open your line. Please mute your line if you have, just mute your line. Please, please, please mute your line because you have background noise or something. I'm not trying to call you out, but I'm just saying, and I'm not going to be at my screen for a moment. So, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. At 8:04, I see you. I will come back to you, Brother E, once I come back on, and then you can speak. But I'm sorry, you're not going to disrespect me on my show, okay? Okay, brother, thank you. Go ahead, Brother Prince.
This is Chris PL. Let me tell you, the reason why we create and separate Ace, which that says leads to a separation, to a eventual repatriation, it doesn't actually mean going home to Mother Africa. Because we know every black person ain't going to Africa. Because I'm going, don't mean you going. What is the damn plan of you on surviving on this land called America? That's really the answer, and that's really the question. Because I don't have my ass when I get ready to go. I'm down. But I'm not a cow ass nigga, and I'm not a hoe ass nigga. So it's time to help the folks that want to stay here. Only thing I know how to stay here is we have to build, we have to take over suburban parts of the ministry that got 5,000 population and got 20 houses that we want. And we need to organize the people that want to live in a black civilization in America. That don't mean that niggas in this particular area. I'm talking about all over the country. We need to build. Because how you beat white supremacy is to deny pillars of white supremacy for yourself. That's what I know from getting reform from. That's what I learned from Dr. Francis Wellstein. That's what I learned from Neely Clough. You're not telling me that they ain't telling me it's economic, education. You're talking about entertainment. You're saying everybody telling me about politics, and religion, sex and war. You're saying law and labor. We know that's how the class is controlling us. So we have to control that for ourselves. What that means is, you can practice white supremacy on them other motherfuckers. You ain't practicing on me. We got to build our own parallel system. This is a Pan-African order. This ain't no religion. I'm a Pan-African. That was no religion. This is a political state that I'm going to speak. I'm a political state. The politics. The problem is, brothers are telling me that you're getting annexed from your water because we're not going into these cities, into a city or a town. I can operate on that.
Prince, they saying they can't hear you.
Okay.
They saying they can't understand. They saying they can't understand you. Because they said, yeah, you're yelling. No. They can hear you, but they say they can't understand you because you're yelling. I guess you, whatever. Okay. They say you're yelling, they can't understand. Yeah, so go ahead.
Okay, I understand. What I'm saying is that we have to get.
Oh, I feel you.
Everybody ain't going. Everybody ain't going after. So are you going to practice the 9 pillars of black self for black liberation? That's because we got to get to these niggas, man. I'm tired. I can tell you need to get out of here. We need to go. I ain't going. So you're going to practice 9 pillars of human activity for your community and for yourself, or you're not trying to build get mad about that, but I learned a valuable lesson from that. Some paperwork is valid. It's called wills and trust. That's the only valid paperwork that's going to work on air pass. But when you do one, you have to do another. And you have to write a will every 10 years.
Yep.
So when you turn 30, you got to write another will at 40. When you turn 50, you got to write another will at 50. You have to write a will until you don't. And then until you out of here. So what I'm doing is I'm giving you the whole thing, what I know about what everything we done talked about and listened for 45 minutes. But we have to build a civilization. We have to take over a town. My grandmama told me this in 87. They have a writer of full bullshit ass town. Population of 5,000. She went and done her research and realized only 200 people vote. 200.
Where you at, bro?
Well, I live in Fort Worth. I'm talking about back in the game. I'm in Texas.
Oh, you're in Texas?
Yeah, which is a separate ass state. They don't want niggas around. Okay? Around there.
Damn.
So what I'm saying is this. I'm just giving you history real quick and I'm done. But she told me, she went in there and done her research. She went downtown and looked at how many people vote. I understand it was a white town. There was a white town. Still is today. But when she went down there, it was a white town. So we know niggas ain't voting. So anything. Only 100 people vote. In a white town. Only 100 people voted for the man. She said, why these niggas? She ain't a politician. Ain't in her blood. So that ain't her thing. She just said shit. Why black folks? She telling black folks, y'all need to come on down to Alvarado. She trying to recruit black folks to come on down here to Alvarado. Oh man, I don't want to let her down now. She just don't understand. It was a desert, but it was only 10 miles from Dallas and only 10 miles from Fort Worth. That means you can drive back to Fort Worth. You get back to Fort Worth wherever you want to go and get your money and bring it to this little town. All you have to do is get smart and practice the politics you wanted. Because there was nobody voting. There was plenty of land. They were selling. The last thing we know about white folks, when black folks show up, and white folks move around. When black folks show up, white folks vanish. When are we going to take advantage of that? Then we want to be integration all the time. We move in, they move around. So go take that. So you niggas don't go to the city, and we need to go take a suburban city and take over the politics and run it off and take over the run it off, do what we need to do, and we need to do that. It ain't about the niggas, it ain't about the people in the city ain't now. It's about.
So do you feel like we need to change the system before we can do that?
No.
Hey, hold on.
System in your mind. You take the system in your mind.
System will pay back. You back said.
I ain't trying to talk about.
Yeah, I didn't ever get to leave.
You take over a vulnerable system, and it's vulnerable. You find a area code, and zip code. Don't ask this question. If a specific zip code, it changed their system, so they're vulnerable. If they got a population of 5,000, and only 200 crackers are voting, and they got 30,000 homes in that motherfucker. That means we need to recruit 30,000 families over America that fight the RPG that want a black civilization and want to do something. Because we got to learn how to, first we got to learn how to build a city and build a nation and build a town where we can get up for Africa about getting our own land. We got to do something we got to practice what the scholars have been preaching. We got to do, they don't want the book, they don't want our literature. It's time to practice what they wrote and let it work. And if the white man comes down with his guns and his shit, we'll have a police force that will knock them hoes off at the first time, and we can have everybody with their guns on the second time.
Okay.
So we got to build everything we need to have a city. Because when you got they already got a
All right, Brother Prince.
all you do is you take over the police force, you fire every practice that's in that bitch, you put in a bag every single police. That's right.
That's all you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
And I'm done. I think that is something that immediately can be done within 2 years. That's a short-term goal. That's what North Wazoo is going to do. Okay? That's one of my goals of my vision that I'm running. Okay, I'm not worried about it. I'm going to get what I'm going to get. I don't give a damn who buys this water. I get nothing. I ain't supposed to have to buy my water, but it's going to be. I'm going to be able to get one from every
Yeah, I hear you. He don't hear you, but
Yeah,
I
I
hear
can
you.
now.
All right, brother E. Go ahead, brother E.
Boy, I love your passion, bro. I love that. Well, man, who's that man that was talking about white people were getting their justice award? Who was that dude that called that? That's why I kind of first went. I was wondering, who the hell was that? The man said that white people were going to get theirs for other white on white crime. Is that what the man was bringing up to the discussion? Talking about the brother from Richmond. Is he from Richmond? That's what he's permitting? Yeah. And he said white people are going to get what's there. The one Sister Renee asked about the what do you mean about the white people, something, damn, I forgot what it was. But I know what you're talking about.
But the white people are killing themselves off in white genocide. That sounds stupid as fuck. These people are not going to rub themselves fucking off. Oh, let me say this. They're not going to rub themselves. The only way these people are going to announce this is going by the hands of the black nation and maybe the earth. Well, it's going to be either one or two things. But with them, they're not going to kill themselves off. I don't give a fuck what anybody say on this fucking line. They've been at war with each other for hundreds years, and they're still around. Hell, they're at the point right now where they try to find ways just to survive. And who really is keeping these people together is us as a black nation. Well, because some of us are so stupid it feels that by integrating into a burning house is better, and then you're going to sexually fuck them out of existence. And that is not proven the fact. So any man that talking about say that they're going to kill themselves out, they still want to be in bed with white people. And they want to take responsibility and say, no, it's going to be by our hand, not by themselves, because a parasite doesn't eat each other out. They always seek their immune system to rub them out. That's a fucking fact. I don't know what this fuck that dude was talking about, say that they're going to wipe each other. They're not wiping nobody out anytime soon. The only people they're probably going to wipe out is the ones that's going to be opposed to their rule. And that's the black nation. Simple, hands down. So if they turn up, they're going to turn twice up on black people. And they're already turning up on black people right now. As you can see around the world right now, they're killing most of the sisters for body parts and organs, just like they kill the men across the globe, in the islands, and whatever. And not only white man's doing this, but also the Asian man is doing this as well. So really, you have no fucking friends. You know what I'm saying? From what I'm discovering right now. So back to that sick like that, they wake the fuck up. Stop playing naive.
You done, brother?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Unless you want me to keep going.
No. I mean, if you're done, you're done.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Brother E. I'm going to go back. Was there somebody else who was on the line who didn't get to speak just before I opened up the other two lines? Who wanted to speak? Let's see. Yeah, you gotta speak up and let me know. Brother Equani, did you want to say something? Okay, he must. If you talk to him, okay. You there?
I was just gonna say we gotta go back.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we gotta go back to culture. Inside our culture, we're gonna have different ways to view ourselves. Have good stories to tell that uphold a good image of our people. You know, a way that we can tell stories and show ourselves in a good image to our children. Like I said, even having movies, having songs, music, all these things, even the artwork that reflects the image of one of us being healthy and us doing well for ourselves. So I think, culture has a lot to do with that. Not only that we, learn about our history, but, we actually apply some of the ways that were beneficial to our ancestors inside maintaining successful, civilizations and things of that nature.
Right. I agree 100%. Okay, so I'm going to bring this brother back in. And then, because I do have something to do, I was not able to do now. Because I can't. Okay, anyway, I'm going to bring this brother, the brother back in. And then I will let anybody who wants to say anything briefly before we close out. So let me bring this brother back in. All right, 804. You back on?
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
thank you. Look, all I was trying to express, like, I'm going to be cool. I just have so much deep passion. Like, all this stuff that y'all know, I've been knowing ever since I was a little kid about this town against America. Everything that this white man loves is going to be destroyed. It's going to be destroyed. What else I wanted to say? I mean, it's not in their farm. I mean, anywhere you look, it's an accident happened. And see, white people always been at war with each other. And brother, the genocide against black people too. I mean, they didn't love us then. What makes you think they love us now? I just have so much on the stress, but it's going down. It's corruption everywhere. Seeing the police killing everybody, and come to find out the police being trained in Israel, they are playing. That's the reason that's going on is that you're seeing the destruction of the police department. When these people move the country, they destroy.
Somebody, I think you don't know that you're not muted. We can hear some of you going, but where is the police department crumbling? Like, where are they? What police department?
I mean, all over the state. I mean, you don't heard in the articles how they being trained over in Israel. See, all these policemen that shooting people all crazy and things, they are playing like drones.
I'm not saying that that's not true. Go ahead.
I just don't see how people don't see what's going on. We wonder why people got so many diseases. It's the water. Now you can catch your urine. Catch your urine and let it rest. I bet it smell like ammonia.
I don't want to know, but yeah. I won't challenge you on that because I'm not trying to do it. But
can I say something right quick? Water is everything, sir. It is everything, sir, including the food. So without water and food, that's what I'm trying to tell you. This thing is coming at white people from every direction.
But it's coming at black people as well. Black people are not being spared anything.
Okay.
We're drinking the same water. We're drinking the same, whatever. We're breathing the same air.
But it's not our judgment, though. It's not our judgment. See, if I go out and kill 25...
I think I see what he's saying, sis.
But it's not our judgment. If it's not our judgment, what difference does that make in terms of black people and black babies still dying?
God is coming back on them. Yeah.
Okay, I understand that. But what does that have to do with black lives? Because if this judgment is coming upon them, it's coming upon black people as well. Black people are not being spared.
We got to water, and we got to move away from.
How so?
If you know how
do you move away from it?
I'm gonna tell you what will get black people in trouble. Being religious, or trying to be patriotic, trying to save this white man from this destruction. That's your destruction. You gotta stay away from this white man and everything he loves. You gotta hate everything that he loves, and try to stay out the way. But this thing is coming at him. These people already here. They're here.
Okay.
Look at me. Read some of this connections come from out of 6 to 8 Street, the crack house.
But I don't.
Where they put together World War, the crack house.
I'm just saying I don't see how those things are beneficial to black people right now. Because it's one thing is hold on, let me say this, please. Let me say this.
Yeah.
Because if it's not quote unquote our judgment, okay, that's fine. But we're still being attacked, killed, poisoned under the same infrastructure these people are under. We're still exposed to all of these things as well. We're suffering from disease. Our people are dying. Our people are getting cancer. Our people are getting HIV. Our children are being born sick. Our children are developing autism as well. So, I don't... Go ahead.
It's the way they think. It's their mentality. I'm 64 years old. You want to see me. My eyes look white as a newborn baby. See, all the things that I've been stressing to my wife, it was running her over the edge. Now she making knowledge going to me. All these big gun shows they be having in Richmond, she was coming home from work and she saw a caravan of state vehicle coming from this gun show 3-4 days after the gun show. Don't you know everything that go in them gun shows, facial recognition, all type of knowledge being done to them.
Absolutely.
They don't want them white people. They want them. They want them. And see, black people, signed off on these guns, registration. Hey, that's what can get you in trouble. If you have any sense, turn the gun in, get your name off of the database. That's like, you ever heard of the death panel? Yeah. Now, say like you college educated, you make the $65,000 a year, and see how a woman going to get a checkup and see whether she got a tumor, cancer, something. Now, under this death panel thing, if they see a tumor on you, they're not going to use that insurance money to take care of that tumor or disease. They're going to put you down. They're going to put you down. And the other one, when you turn 75, you got to check in like the roaches do. They're going to put you down like a dog. That's the death panel. That's in all that's Obamacare. It ain't got nothing to do with Obama. That's something that tacked his name on. Rahm Emanuel brother wrote it and some other there. Yes, Oprah Winfrey on the death panel. Bill Gates, all these ones that we know. And see, it overrides Congress and the Senate. And see, and know why these people have their way with America.
I don't disagree. My thing is to not disagree with you. I'm not really going to argue those points or not or whatever because I believe in a lot of that stuff. A lot of people say I'm a conspiracy theorist or whatever. No, I just am not, like I said, disillusioned. I know these people are capable of anything. They will do anything to stay in power. Okay? So that's why I'm saying, and that's exactly, hold on. Can I say something, brother, please?
Yeah, look.
And that's exactly,
Yeah, look.
and that's exactly why, I'm speaking, please, and that's exactly why that what you're saying about this is their judgment and things like that, that's exactly why I don't take solace in that. Because, as I said, these people are capable of anything. So, I feel like this, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell you not to feel that way or what have you. I mean, you feel how you feel. But I think the more important, or for me, I'll say, the more important thing is looking at the effects that's happening to our community. Because I can sit back and look at your demise, but if
if I go right along with you, that ain't doing me no good. If you dying and I die, how is your death helping me?
Research. You like what I'm saying don't rule you right. Go and research. Go see what the United Nations is saying. It is a big thing. It always look at all the treaties they done made with the United States. I mean with the United Nations. And these white people holler, they are right. See, that's why the United States is in the position it is today, because of the treaties they made with the United Nations. The biodiversity treaty. Look them up. And just like this Y2K, I heard people talking about that. That was a serious threat. You know what they did in the Y2K? They took 35% of the cash globally. They took 35% of the cash out of circulation. And all them countries that were too poor to finance this new plug-in system, but the countries like these industrialized nations, they paid for it. So they got 35% of all the cash out of society globally, plus what they got from the United States. They done took over $28 trillion of the people's money.
Yeah.
We haven't been getting no information from America.
But they don't have anything to do with our survival.
Yeah, look, hey, can I say something right quick? I've been trying to say. Yeah. Hey, look, our survival should be a code of conduct. I think Dr. Francis left us with something. And she left us with a code of conduct. And Dr. Fuller, not Dr. Fuller, but Mr. Fuller talks about the same code of conduct. And I think that's something that we got to put into play. But let me add on to some of the conduct. So the conduct should be this, that we as black people, we should, where the code of conduct is that we have to, number one, respect each other. That's number one. Number two, we have to respect our women. Vice versa, the third thing would be, our women need to respect us. Number three, we need to have children. Number four, we should not be differentiated. Number three, we in fact have to understand this practice of homosexuality in our community and deal with that. See, these things that we can do that before we begin to think about patriarchy, etc. We have, and I said this earlier, because we have to in fact heal ourselves. Because see, I'm no longer going to be talking white folks about race no more. Fuck that. Okay? We've been talking to them too damn long about race and nothing gets accomplished. Okay? The only conversation that we should be having with white folks is conversations of reparations and separation. That's it. I'm serious. These are the conversations that we're having with white people. Because the rest of the shit hasn't worked. And it hasn't worked. It's not going to work because as we see the result of this, it hasn't worked. And we see that they're capable of doing anything because they shoot us down the street. And who's going to be next? They shoot us down the street. We go into a courtroom, we come out of the courtroom, not guilty or there's a home court. And we continue to, if we can continue to go back to the courtroom thinking like, the wish to tell us, say, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Stop playing these games with us. The only conversation again that we should be having for white people is reparation and separation. And that's it. For the rest of
I agree with you. And it makes me feel bad. I agree with you. And it makes me feel bad sometimes because when people say stuff like, we got to boycott, all we can do is let our money come for us and stuff. And like, see, this is my thing. I think everybody is right. And I think everybody is wrong. I think it's a combination of things. I don't think it's one. It's just one thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what my thing is. It's like, why do we, and I said this last night, we were talking about this something, and I said, why can't it be both? Why can't something be both? Why does it have to be either or? So like when people say, well, no, we don't need to do that with money. We got to go do, like I told you about the guy who was talking about land or move to the rural area. Like, it has to be a combination of things because it's a combination of factors that have to get us to the point we at today. to me, it's somewhere in the middle. So then you will you will hear the Hebrews, and the Hebrews have it. They have the answer. And we're the chosen people of the Bible, and that's just what it is, and everything like that. And, you know, God's coming back, and you know, and this is the over, and this and that, right? So they have their beliefs. Then you have the NOI, okay, and they have their beliefs, and they believe in Allah, and they have how they see things. You have, you know, the Christians and how they see things. You have the Black Power community, who you have the people who are atheistic or what have you. You have, you know, other people who uphold. I mean, it's a wide variety. And I just feel like, yet you have the people who want to repatriate to Africa. But the one thing that I feel like no group is really dealing with is what right now today. I'm not talking about no move to a rural. What do we do now? We are at a crisis stage. A lot of this stuff people are proposing, it does nothing. Hold on. A lot of this stuff people are proposing is to do nothing more than Black people chasing their tails, or to sit back and wait. Because that's one of my issues that I will ask particularly the Hebrew brothers and sisters about is, all of this is going to be handled, but what do we do in the meantime? So what should we be doing now? Okay, all of this is going to be handled, and they coming back, and everything. Okay, cool. Let's say I rock with that, and I say you're spot on. So in the meantime, we just keep getting gunned down. We keep getting poisoned. We keep the children miseducating our children. We keep staying in the ghettos. We keep staying in food deserts. We keep having babies coming up with this autism. We keep having cancer and all this other stuff. We just stay in this position. Is that we just sit back and wait? Because they going to get destroyed. So let me get my chair and kick my feet up. And then
I got one thing. This is what I said.
Go ahead, whoever.
What I said.
I think
I was trying to finish what I was trying to say. No, I'm going to finish right quick. This is why I was saying about the quarter card, because that's practice. This little more, he throw this guy, tie this guy, none of that stuff. The point of it is practice, okay? And that's why I said, with these code of conduct, that's it. And sometimes I want to say these code of conduct too. For us economically empowering us ourselves, that just by itself is not going to bring us freedom, okay? Having economic empowerment while we're in America, that's not going to bring us freedom, because they're going to fuck with it. But in the meanwhile, we can deal with that, but something else we got to do too, as Black and a Black person. As a Black man, when we in fact allowing our women that to do business with white men, it should always be that we are in the presence of our women when they are around them. See, that's something we want to deal with. If we want freedom, we want protection, and we want Black men to protect us, why would we this? If you're a Black woman and you're in business, you should be doing business with a white man by yourself, not without in the presence of a Black man in your presence around you at all times. These are the things that we need to start doing in this code of conduct. You see, this is how we need to do this all the time. And if we do these things, we're going to continue to have the same conversation. And 10 years from now, we're going to get wiped out, because us dating with your race is not going to solve a problem. Then that's just going to dilute us even more. Okay, that is a weird thing. So that's what I'm going to say.
I just got something real quick to say. The best thing a Black person can do is try to save themselves from this confusion. So see, if you don't know what's good for you and what's bad for you, you're gonna be the victim. So all these Black folks, all these taking all these diseases back, where is it coming from? Ignorance. Their mindset. You know, they think everything is happy go nothing. No. You got to change yourself
Right.
If your brother or your wife don't want to say themselves, you got to let them go.
Okay. I agree. We have 5 minutes left, family. We got 5 minutes left. So did anybody want to say anything? I mean, it has to be very super, super duper brief. Before it's over. Go ahead.
Yes. Those who want it will walk through this confusion and destruction. To watch me. Got to know it's right from the game. So see, they're coming at our senses. They're coming at our senses. And we got senses we don't even know we have. Them the senses that they really coming in. And we got our sexuality and spirituality. Then they defile that, giving us all these religions and sexuality. What? They making men out of women and women out of men. See what I'm saying?
Right.
First we got to fight.
Right. Thank you, brother. Brother Africa, did you want to say anything? I want to thank you for coming on and speaking. Did you want to say anything?
I just want to say, again, getting back earlier to that divide thing, we got to learn to come together because and figure out what we need to do with that, because that's a major problem.
And we is coming together. We gonna come together, brother. You watch. When this white man no food for you, we gonna join together. We bad.
But see, here's the problem, though, brother. If about the coming together, how you gonna change the people's minds that don't want to rock with us? Okay, that's what I'm saying. And even if they in the way, then what do we do? I mean, the question is right now, what do we do right now to bridge this gap that we got between each other? Because the way it is right now, we're going to wind up having to go to war with each other. And the white man is going to sit back and watch us go to war with each other. Yeah. And that's what's going to happen. And we're going to have to face the reality that we might have to put some damn ties around some people's necks and set them on fire. Because ain't all black people is for us.
Thank you, Thank you, Nikki and Psycho. We'll be back. I know I'll be back on Thursday night. It's going to cut off in about probably a minute and a half. So thank you so much. Love to the chat. I appreciate y'all so much. Tons of love and kisses. Thank you to all the brothers on the line who called in. I appreciate y'all so much. Much love to the brother. Goodness, what's your name again, brother? The one I muted you earlier. Okay, Magneto, yes. Brother, you're welcome to call anytime. Okay. As long as we keep it respectful and everything, it's all good. But you're welcome to call back anytime. But y'all go ahead and talk it out the rest of the way. Peace and love, y'all.
I might have to
love you too, sir.
Then on this because I missed the earlier show, so I was gonna say something about this call late because I know you opened up very late tonight on the show.
Now we're gonna come together, but this white man got to take everything from us.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
That's it. All right, family. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. We'll be back Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Appreciate everybody for coming in, listening. Can you please give me a like before you leave? Peace and Black Power. We out.